What's the general demi operation? Dog. Well. Oh, dog. Well, hand me that guitar. Hand me that guitar, dog. Let's get this show on the road. Here's one you'll know.
Hey everybody, it's me, Scoutmaster Demi. I'm wearing my hoodie today because, man, it was, well, it still is really cold and rainy. It is very, very frosty. Tacky. Lateness is just a state of mind, man. Okay, that's just a state of mind. Yes, though. As you can see, it's like 5:20, about 10 minutes late. Today, I have a good reason, though. I have a very good reason as to why that is the case. Does anyone here know the show Curb Your Enthusiasm? So I'm a pretty big fan of that show. I think it's got a lot of really fun, insights into the ways that, actually really the mundane ways that people interact with each other and kind of picking apart the psychology of it. Very, very fun stuff. So today is the premiere episode of the final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. And in a previous season, they had a whole storyline where Larry was really mad at this guy, Mocha Joe, who's got like a coffee store. So he decides to just make his own coffee shop to spite Mocha Joe called Latte Larry's. So today in LA, they had an actual Latte Larry's pop-up. They basically took over a real coffee store. They served out free coffee, free Latte Larry coffee, and free dry scones. And you could buy some merch. I bought some Latte Larry's blend of coffee, which I think is really cute and funny. I'm not actually a big coffee drinker, but I did enjoy that cup that I had, and I figured this was kind of a fun little bit of merch. I felt, it's like you get free drinks and scones. You gotta buy something, right? You gotta support them somehow. So today was pretty fun for that very reason, but very rainy, right? So it took you guys, if you live in LA, I think probably Sleazy's the only one who can really relate to this, but it might take you 45 minutes to get to a spot one way, and then you come back and it's like an hour and a half, and you're like, oh my gosh, especially with the rain, right? The rain definitely, makes things more complicated and ridiculous. Also, they had special napkins. I can't believe how all out they went for this. I'm not going to say this out loud because, I try to not swear, but that's definitely a fun quote from that season that the Latte Larry spot was a part of. So anyway, hope you guys are all doing well. Hello to you, Cabo. Hello, Tacky. Hello, Sleazy. Hello, who else? I think Unfunny checked in. How are you, Unfunny? It's definitely raining here too. Is it raining for all you guys? Retro, so nice to see you. Outlaw Vessel, great to see you too. Pokejo, nice to see you too. Mokajo and Pokejo. That's funny. That's what I think of right now. But yeah, definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really fun. Always great to see you, Sleazy. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this on for today. I do have my scout shirt underneath. Well, I guess I'm just showing off chest here, but anyway, let's finish off this game. I'm really excited to do it. Apollo Justice. Really solid entry in a series that I love quite a bit. And I think after I'm done with the game, I'll show off that briefcase from yesterday that I didn't get a chance to fully do. I think that should be really fun. So for those of us who have not been able to sort of follow everything that's been happening in the story, basically, oh gosh. I mean, right now we're in the past, kind of. We just finished a trial where Phoenix, it was actually his last trial, canonically, before, you know, he loses his attorney's badge. We got to see how he lost his attorney's badge. So right now we're in the past. You know, not for long, but we are in the past. And, how come my controller? There we go. You know, investigating a bit. We're going to start off a bit of investigating that will tie into the present. Hey, Nexit, hello. Yeah, a little bit of time travel. A tiny bit unfunny. Not like, you know, crazy time travel, but we are going to see bits of Phoenix's life from back in the day, as well as what he's up to in the current day. And then we're also going to be connecting that back to the present day case, in which case a girl who was a forger got poisoned in the middle of the courtroom, which was really spicy. So anyway, we're starting it off. That trial 7 years ago was the beginning of it all. This I know beyond a doubt. The mysteries of the past work their magic on the present, but you'll soon be finding all this out for yourself. Which of Magnifi Grammarai's disciples pulled that trigger? Where did the vanishing defendant Zach Grammarai go? What dark truth lurks behind the forged diary page? Trucy! And what about the girl who was left behind? Let's move this. The Mason system. I wonder what Mason stands for. Hey, Beto! Nice to meet you! Or is that B2? How do I pronounce your name? So nice to have you in here. You came at a good time. This is the final stretch of Apollo Justice. I'm really excited about it. The past left us these 4 keys. Also, are you a big Ace Attorney fan? You're probably a Mega Man fan, but are you a big Ace Attorney fan? The past left us these 4 keys to unlocking the truth. But that's not all. There are 4 keys in the present as well. And when all the questions have found their answers, the final trial will begin. But first, you must chase the truth through the then and now. Think of it as a game. I'm hyped. There he is. Bum Dad himself. Hi there. I love that emote. So nice to meet you. I, Phoenix Wright, will be your guide through this game. That terrible trial saw me present forged evidence. It ended half-finished when the defendant vanished. What became of me after that? As your investigation proceeds, the answer will become clear. Oh, and one more thing. There is something I must tell you. As Apollo Justice has his bracelet, so too do I have my own weapon of sorts. My Magatama. What does it do, you ask? That I would have you see for yourself. Well now, shall we begin? Touch the arrow to switch between past and present. But let's begin 7 years ago in the past. It is right after my last trial came to an abrupt end. Now that you know the game, let's play. You know, it's not quite a time machine. Honestly, unfunny, it's actually not extremely clear, like, what, Wait, is this, does my screen look kind of chopped off to you guys? It's not quite, no, weird, okay. Let's start with the lobby. There is a little bit of, like, bringing stuff from the future to the past, but I think this is more like a simulation of what Phoenix's life was like. The nightmare trial was over, and the new nightmare of finding out what had happened had just begun. I wanted to wake up, to walk away, but I figured I'm the only one who could do this, probably. And besides, I had plenty of time. Thanks to the Bar Association Review Board's decision. It's hard to work when your attorney's badge has been taken away. 7 years ago, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Didn't think I'd be back here for a while. I didn't want to have to remember that day. Oh, I love that. Who, if you don't mind me asking, who's your friend? And am I pronouncing your name right? Is it B2? I love that. So nice to have you in here. Yeah, honestly, we're basically just getting started. We're kind of going in alphabetical order. But if you spend channel points that you can earn on Twitch, you can have me play certain games out of order too, which is fun. Then, of course, every Monday we play a Mega Monday game, and we're playing Star Force, Mega Man Star Force, the Deluxe Edition, which has been really, really fun. Really tough, too, surprisingly. Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, the trial is over. Ah, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Zack. There was one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. What are you talking about? I am talking about this! I love that. Mr. Enigmar! The defense escaped! Find him quick! Bailiff, close all exits! On the double! He must not be allowed to escape! When I came here on that fateful morning, I still had my badge, but now, like an amputated limb, I can still feel it itching. Where do I start? I don't even have the authority to investigate. Hey, you there, sir! Down on the hands! Floor on your head! Now, now, now! Oh, it's Meekins! Yeah, from the first Ace Attorney game. I forgot about him. What's the big idea? My ears! No authorized personnel aren't allowed in here! But that would mean all unauthorized personnel are allowed. Zoink! I just say it like it is, sir, and it's usually wrong. Thrown out of the precinct. Lost my friends, my girl, even my wallet. We've met before, haven't we? On a case 2 years ago? No recollection of it, sir. Huh? Oh, Beto, okay. Just extracting attention. From Latin America. Oh, I love that. I like to watch all the challenges. Oh, that's cool. Well, I hope, if there's ever stuff that if I'm ever speaking too fast, or if there's stuff you want me to explain, you just let me know. I really love chatting with people in the Twitch chat. I'm a pretty social guy that way, so great to have you in here, Beto. What are your favorite games, especially on the DS, and what are maybe some of your favorite shows? Yeah, that's rough, Retro. It doesn't remember him. For me, working on a case is always in the present progressive tense, sir. There is no past, there's only now, sir. Okay, you're the bailiff, right? Yes, sir! Court Bailiff Mike Meekins, at your service, sir. I've asked to meet with the bailiff at the court who let the magician escape. Let me try to make this as absolutely clear as possible for you, sir. It was me, sir! But you were a regular police officer once, right? Sometimes bad things happen to good people, sir. Something tells me it's a long story. Let's not go there. So you were in charge of the security at the time of the vanishing. I'm dying over here! Oh, it's a hard knock life, sir. Thrown out of the precinct. Lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet. Guess I wasn't the only victim. The last time we met, you were a police officer, right? In fact, you're still wearing your uniform. Sir, I wish I didn't have to tell you this. But last year, tragedy struck a rising star at the precinct. I lost my case file 4 times in 3 days. They fired me. That takes real talent, actually. They don't know what they're missing. So here I am, sir, forced to start from square one, a lowly bailiff. But your uniform. I took it with me as a souvenir the day I was fired. That can't be illegal. So you were the one who let the magician get away that day? I'm dying over here! A star rises among the court bailiffs full of hope. Then tragedy strikes. The World Ends With You is that is my #1 favorite DS game, and that is like just an all-time favorite game for me in general too. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, Professor Layton's amazing as well. Love the Professor Layton games. I played all the regular DS ones. I haven't played any of the 3DS ones, unless you count the 3DS crossover with Professor Layton and Ace Attorney. So I never played like Azrin, was it Azrin Legacy or Miracle Mask, I think are the names, or Catriel Layton. But I did play, Last Spectre, Unbound Future. Those are great. I'm looking forward to replaying those Very, very looking forward to that. About Zach Remrai's disappearance. Oh, the humanity! That's enough of that. The magician's disappearance. Why, yes, I'd say it was around 2 p.m. when I heard commotion in court. I opened the door to see what might be amiss. The door slammed open, slam, and some guy's face is right in front of me. Face! So you saw someone suspicious coming your way. Yes, and I, being a bailiff of little standing, I gave chase. I chased that silk hat all the way down the howl, sir. I have a diagram of the court building here. Aha! There's courtroom number 7. That's where I was, sir. All by myself, nary a friend to call my own. Okay, and which way did Zach Remrai run after bursting through the courtroom door? He went up like this and around the corner like that. So I, with no delay, ran after him with no delay. When I turned the corner, I saw that magic man run into the defendant lobby. Swiftly I ran. Following him, I threw myself boldly into the room. Why, I remember it like it was right here because it was lobby number 2, sir. You ran into this room? I don't see any place to hide in here. Believe it or not, sir, I don't believe it. Here, in this room, the magician, gone, vanished like a puff of smoke. Except there wasn't even any smoke, he was just gone. They are cute, yeah. And you know, I can totally understand not playing them earlier, thinking like they're not someone's cup of tea, but they're pretty good, huh? I'm looking forward to replaying them. I think a lot of those riddles are really fun. That's impossible. Yes, that word. Oh, how many times have I said that word? Even the sound of it causes me indescribable pain. I'm dying. I'm dying over here. Okay, I won't say it again, I promise. But you have to admit it's difficult to vanish into thin air. Did you search the lobby? I searched. Why the pause? There was nothing here at all, sir. That's right, nothing was here, sir. How can he talk so loud and still be hiding something? So Zach was in this room when he vanished. Absolutely, sir. I saw him with my own eyes. The red silk hat, that flowing cape. He ran right in there, right in the room. Silk hat, cape? That's Zach, all right. But sir, look at the room. There's not a single place to hide. Sir, there was nothing I could do, but nothing, sir. What about now? Have any ideas? Sir! Ideas about what exactly, sir, if you don't mind me asking? You've had quite a bit of time since then. Has nothing occurred to you at all? Do you have any idea what trick you might have used to disappear like that? There it is. This is the Magatama. Cyclops. I should have known. My Magatama, one of my most prized possessions, which I got during a certain case. It can show me the locks on people's hearts. And if I can unlock their hearts, they'll tell me their secrets. The Magatama starts it all. And the Magatama ends it. Hey, Leo! Might not be on for long as the energy company's doing stuff. Oh no, too bad. Well, really great to have you in here. Super great to have you in here, Leo. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. How are you, friend? I'm excited for tomorrow to get more Star Force Deluxe. The disappearing trick. Okay, Mr. Meekins. What do you know? Spit it out. Hey, what's with the atmosphere in here all of a sudden? You know something, and I'm gonna find out what. Zach Remrai vanished from this room. How'd he do it? Hey, Lich King, nice to see you. Lich King, we're finishing up the rest of the game. We didn't miss too much, by the way. You didn't miss too much. It's been like probably 5 minutes of gameplay. This is the start of the investigation. This is the bailiff, and we're trying to figure out how the magician escaped from the courtroom. Why are you so nervous if you aren't hiding something? Well, sir, you see, at the time, sir, I was here and... Listen, it was impossible. How could such a little girl possibly do it anyway? What did you just say? No, sir, did I say something, sir? No, you screamed it through that megaphone of yours. There was someone else in the room, wasn't there? Sir, I'm gonna have to invoke my right to remain in a state of not talking. It's okay, Meekins. You don't have to tell me who Zach's accomplice was. I know who was in there in that room that day. And that's definitely a little Trucy Enigma. Sir, sir! I've never seen that girl until just the other day. Mr. Meekins, I'm not buying it. Sir! Sir, that day, she was here in that room, sir. But he wasn't. You mean he chased her into this room, not him? Sir, in my days as a police officer, literally days, I learned a thing or two. Okay, just one thing. But how about not to mistake a girl for a 7-foot-tall magician? 7 feet? Zach isn't that tall, is he? You have a point. I find it hard to imagine that anyone would mistake a little girl for Zach Gramurai. But you saw something, and therein lies the trick. Oh, you know what? So I cannot show off this yet. I have to stop this. Yeah, I don't have the evidence to pull this off. Maybe it's time to do a little more legwork. Okay, so I have to talk to little Trucy. And in talking to Trucy, then I can go back to Meekins. I really should have started at the top of this, right? Or actually, you know what? Here, let's go down to Wright and Co. offices. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Kevil. He's like, I invoke my right to not talk. You like to see me in terror of harp note. Who's Lou Pelvis? Wait, who's Lou Pelvis? I'm not familiar with Lou Pelvis. Ooh, morning, Daddy. I'm so glad you came. You okay, Daddy? They picking on you? I'm fine as always. This old boy here is to help me after all. That's young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on. Thanks, my first show's today after all. She is so precious. She's the cutest little girl. 2 weeks have passed since then. I called her into my office. Oh, Trucy, there's something we need to talk about. It's been 2 weeks since your father disappeared. We need to start thinking about your future. I did some calling around. This is hard to say, but you have no living relatives. So, I was wondering if you wanted to stay with me for a while. Just until your daddy comes home. It won't be long. I hope. Of course, it's totally your choice. If you don't like it here, you can go wherever you'd like. I could look up some places you might like to stay at. This is so weird. Mr. Attorney, Daddy told me about you. He said I could trust you. Huh? Really? So if I stay here, does that mean you'll be my family? Huh? I guess so. Getting weirder. Mr. Attorney, or actually, why don't you call me Nick? Or you can call me Daddy if you'd like. It doesn't have to be today or anything. Okay, say Daddy. That was quick. Yes? If I move here, I have to switch schools, right? Oh, music okay, I forgot about the viruses. I definitely don't know the names of viruses. And I was thinking, I haven't paid for lunches at my last school for a year. So thanks, Daddy. Oh, in this office, it's a little blah. A little color goes a long way, you know? Oh, and Daddy, you got fired from work, right? Don't you worry one bit, I'll work twice as hard. We'll make it through this. Trucy, how old are you? Oh, I'm 8. But don't let appearances deceive you. I'm a young professional. Stick with me and you'll do just fine, Daddy. Thanks. Why does it feel like she's already in charge? Hey, user, so nice to see you. She's got 2 daddies now. So, Daddy, you got fired from being a lawyer, right? You could at least kind of look aside or something when you say that. It's actually kind of hard for me, for Daddy. Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy. Wait, is that foolish pride? My other daddy always used to talk about that. Actually, that's pretty accurate. So here's my idea. We'll make a new office. Law just seems so stiff, doesn't it? And no one will be my friend at school that way. Well, that won't do, I guess. I just don't know that much about anything other than law. Or even much about law, if you were to ask some people. Maybe the problem is calling it an office. We should run an agency instead. You mean like a talent agency? Forgive me for asking, but doesn't that require talent? You got me, don't you? I'm a professional. I should give her a different voice. Almost made a connection that she traded. Yeah, because of her blue suit, right? Goes from red to blue for Phoenix Wright. I love that, Pokejo. No, I finished Beast User. We have not done Beast Plus yet. We haven't done Beast Plus yet. But we will definitely do it. A professional? Yep. After all, I'm directly descended from the famous Zach Gramurai. Directly descended? He's your father. Oh. And now I'm directly descended from the famous Phoenix Wright, too. I think an 8-year-old just massaged my ego. Could you tell me a bit more about your daddy? Or Zach Gramurai? Daddy? Sure thing, Daddy. Which daddy was that again? Daddy's so amazing. The biggest star of Troop Gramurai, and they're big. The Gramurais. They were on television a lot. Haven't seen them on much recently, come to think of it. Big magic happens when you put Zack and Valiant Grammar together, you know? Once they made a giant waterfall right there on stage, and the giant trout swam up the giant waterfall. Let me guess, there was a giant fisherman waiting from the top. I wish I could have seen more of Daddy's magic. Ah, shouldn't have brought that up so soon. I wonder what'll happen to me with Daddy and Mommy both gone. Mommy? Yeah, what about Mommy? I haven't heard anything about Trucy's mother. But I have my magic and a great daddy, even if he is unemployed. You know, I think things are gonna be okay. I wonder if she'll talk about her mother. So Trucy, you're a professional? Yes, it's like that thing they say. Baby frogs grow up to be frogs? They say that? I always thought it was funny though. What was? Aren't baby frogs called tadpoles? Maybe they thought it would be easier to understand that way for kids. How stupid. Right, so in conclusion, you're a professional magician, Trucy? That's right. Well, wanna see a trick? You're gonna do a magic trick? I love that I could shut her down. What would happen if I shut her down? Let's see. Thanks, but maybe next time. Aw, that's no fun. You only live once, you know. The tricks can wait. We got more important things to discuss. Can't think of anything more important than magic myself. Was that mind reading? Silly, it was written all over your face. If that wasn't a magic trick, I wonder what the real ones are like. Alright, we'll do it again. I was curious what you would say. Yeah, the double crossbeat Mega Man is crazy. I kind of wish they made that a real game thing. Interesting design to have both Gregor and Falza together. Actually, I would like to see her trick. The future of the agency depends on it, after all. That's the spirit. Ready? Here goes. Ta-da! Hey, folks, it's Mr. Hat. I gotta say, it's good to be seen. Yar! Whoa, that was startling. The amazing Mr. Hat, isn't he great? Your friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat at your service. He certainly makes an impression. Doesn't he? I'm so glad you like him, Daddy. Though my routines get a bit heady at times. Ha! Get it? Heady. My friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat nearly gave me a heart attack. Could you talk about your mommy, if it's okay? Mommy was so pretty. She was like an angel up on stage. On stage? You mean with her daddy? Yep. She was always there with Zack and Valent smiling. But then she went away. Went away? It was a grand illusion, but she made a mistake. She vanished and I guess she didn't know how to get back. Maybe so. I cried then a lot. That's when Daddy gave me this. Here. Does she look familiar to anyone? This is your mother? She's beautiful. Her name's Thalassa. Thalassa Grammari. Poor girl. I didn't know her mommy had gone missing. And now her daddy's vanished too, right before her eyes. Hey, Daddy, you won't... Don't worry, I won't vanish, I promise. Right, you can't even do magic. You're like a backup plan. Daddy always said to have a backup plan. I guess all I rate is a backup plan. B2, so I'm going to try and go alphabetical for the most part. So honestly, the next game I'm probably going to play is Advance Wars, which I'm pretty excited about. Thanks, Rich. That's a good clip. I'm probably going to play Advance Wars next. Although I probably should play the other Ace Attorneys at a certain point too. But yes, if you, I don't know if you're new to Twitch, Beto, but there's channel points, and if you collect a lot of them, you can spend them, and you can make me play a game out of order. So there's I've got a little bit of that, but otherwise I'm mostly playing them alphabetically. I think that's probably enough for today. Sorry to ask you so much all at once like that. It's okay. After all, we're family. I just hope you're ready. The Wright Talent Agency opens tomorrow. What? But are we representing anyone? Me and you. That makes two, Daddy. I think you need more than that to have an agency. Besides, you might be a magician, but I'm no talent. Oh, I'm sure there's something you're good at. Well, when you put it that way. You mean you don't have any tricks? No old standbys? This will not do. A boy should always have a trick or two in his pocket. Okay, I'll think of something. That's the spirit. See you bright and early tomorrow, Daddy. Welcome to the team, Daddy-O. The team, right. How is this guy being pushed around by an 8-year-old? I know. Sometimes when magicians vanish, they leave something behind. That's how Trucy became Trucy Wright, my daughter. To be honest, I was pretty lost those first few days. Thinking back on it, it was a pretty dark time in my life. But Trucy, happy smiling Trucy, she was my light. That's really sweet. I like that a lot. So now we can go back to Meekins. And we can show off that trick, right? That's how this part of the game works. So I'll go back to that Magatama. The disappearing trick. Okay, Mr. Meekins. Spit it out. How'd you do it? Well, sir, you see, a lot happened. It was impossible. What could such a little girl possibly do anyway? Did I say something, sir? I know who was there in the room that day. Trucy Enigmar. Exactly, Budokai, so nice to see you. I've never seen that girl until just the other day. Mr. Meekins, I'm not buying it. Sir! Sir, that day, she was here in the room, sir. But he wasn't. You mean, you chased her into this room, not him? Sir, in my days as a police officer, literally days, I learned a thing or two. Okay, just one thing, but it was how to not mistake a girl for a 7-foot tall magician. 7 feet? Zach isn't that tall, is he? You have a point. Find it hard to imagine that anyone would mistake a little girl for Zach Gramarye. But you saw something, and therein lies the trick. I think you know what it was, Mr. Meekins. Tell me, does this trick look familiar? The amazing Mr. Hat. What's that? That girl's favorite trick, the amazing Mr. Hat. She uses it in her show down at the Wonder Bar. Have you been to the Wonder Bar? So, it wasn't a waking dream, was it, sir? Come again? That night on stage, a vision. Except it wasn't a vision. It was a hat. An amazing Mr. Hat! He really exists! Right, Budokai, they were really holding out the Phoenix stuff. I mean, I like it because they gave Apollo a lot of room for his bracelet. But yeah, it's kind of fun to finally use it again. I remember it clearly, though the details are a little vague. Zach Gramarye exited the courtroom. I gave chase and cornered him into the corner room, sir. Beto, what are some of your favorite shows and maybe some of your favorite characters? Zach Gramarye, don't even think you can escape Meekins. Down on your hands, floor on your head. Hello? Something the matter, mister? No, that is, Sir, I'm currently chasing a suspect, sir. Zach Gramarye, do you know him? Oh, I love Zach Gramarye. His magic is the best. I'm his biggest fan. I see, that's why you're wearing that costume you're wearing. Anyway, the very same Zach came into this room. But no one's been in here except for me. But he has to be in here somewhere. Under the sofa, in the trash can, behind the painting, under the rug. So, Trucy was his accomplice. Imagine my astonished surprise when 1 week later, I just happened to walk into a bar and see him, Mr. Hat. I couldn't believe my own eyes. For a while, I thought it had all been a long dream. A dream that lasted a week? But it wasn't the magician who disappeared. It was Mr. Hat. Sniffle, sniffle. Definitely was the time, that's for sure. Though rather complex, what happened on that day was quite simple. You were standing by the door, and out came Zach. But that wasn't all. Another person got in on the act, and she was standing in front of lobby number 2. Along with Mr. Hat. And that's the beauty, isn't it? So, while you are standing in shock and amazement, the magician rounds the corner, and most likely runs through the closest door in lobby number 1. That's where you come in. You turn the corner in rather lukewarm pursuits, and at that very moment, Trucy runs into lobby number 2. Then all she has to do is tuck away the amazing Mr. Hat. Yeah, the American, it definitely implied a new series, for sure. And I don't think, even though they called it the Apollo Justice Trilogy with that new release, definitely Dual Destinies was not quite an Apollo Justice game. I will say Spirit of Law does become an Apollo Justice game, I think. But yeah. I kind of wish they did focus more on him, but, you know, what can I say? That's just how it is. Astounding, sir. All my days of posing queries and making inquiries and chasing quarries wasted. It was as if I could see them melting away, like an ice cream cone left on the side of the road to die, or the scattered remains of a messily eaten chocolate parfait. Such sweet sorrows. I'm sorry. I had no idea how much you'd suffered on account of this case. It's an honor, sir. I've apologized to people many, many times, sometimes more than once, but this is the first time anyone's ever apologized to me. I agree, Budokai. I agree with you. Yeah, I dropped the character names in the Juggle 3, indeed. I'm sort of her guardian now. Is that so? Sir, you should know that I harbor no ill feelings whatsoever in my harbor. Okay. I let the defendant escape, that's the stone-cold truth. Just another step on my way from singing the blues to wearing the blues. Someday, sir, I'll be standing side by side with the great Detective Gumshoe! Mr. Meekings? This is a free ticket to the show at the Wonder Bar. If you want. It's an honor, sir. Sir, I can't count the number of things I've had taken from me. But no one's ever given me anything for free! Poor Meekins. I look forward to it. Poor Meekins. I know, whatever did happen to Gumshoe, no kidding. All eyes were on Zach Grammer that day in court until his mysterious disappearance. Now part of the mystery's been revealed, but the magician remained out of sight. It would be 7 years before I met him again. Look at that. Now we can go to the present. Look at that. Does anyone remember this? Was anyone here for case 1? I think it's pretty cool. In the present day at the Borscht Bowl Club. Look how cold it looks. Right, he ate dinner with Gavin. Christoph Gavin. I'll be taking my leave now. Still have some work to do back at the office. Then I guess I'll go back to my piano. To be honest, it's better when you aren't playing. This frigid culinary dungeon almost feels comfortable. Later then. So true, Budokai. I love the chill music. The music in this game is top notch. 2 hours left on my shift. Wonder if we'll get any customers tonight. Ahem. Do you know who I am? Who am I? No, but if you hum it, I can play it. Just kidding. I don't do requests. How about a different sort of request? You see, I play cards. Oh, a customer. I was just hoping someone would come in and save me from a night at the Keys. I seek a true competition. I've heard the Borscht Bowl Club is the place for this. Now I see the rumor is true. And this is a friend of yours? Don't mind me. I'm just your friendly neighborhood newsman. He will not be playing tonight. When his business is finished, I shall send him home. This competition will be between us, no others. I know, how interesting that the news reporter was there. The Wright Talent Agency represents 2 artists, and I'm number 2. I play piano. Well, sorta. I'm actually just a front. It's actually just a front for my real talent, which is playing poker. Don't ask me how I got started, I don't remember. But I'm good, real good. It didn't take long for the rumors to get around. Go to the Borscht Bowl Club if you want a real game, that guy's never lost. People don't come to hear me tickle the ivory. They come to watch me play cards. I wish they hyped up this aspect of Phoenix 2 in the other games. In the 3DS games. Is it a seedy poker club? No, it's a restaurant. We don't play for high stakes, there's no money involved. But real players carry cash, and they're always thirsty. It's a handy source of income for the club owner. Then let's compete. I'll take you to the room. The hideout, yes. But before we go, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shady Smith. Oh, and I'm Brushel Spark. Brushel, news reporter. Oh, I'm... No. Phoenix Wright. Huh? You must always look a man in the eye when you make your introductions. You still do not know who I am? Have we met? Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. What are you talking about? I am talking about this! Mr. Enigmar! Bailiff, close all exits! You can't be, but you're Zach Gramarye? Yes, the reincarnation act of the century. Pity I have only an audience of one. You. Zach Gramarye. This must be a bad dream. In a sense, this guy ruined my life. You there. Da? We will play soon. Ready the room. Da. I will be preparing the hideout for you. Are you really him? The Zach Gramarye? Now I am Shady Smith, remember this. How many years has it been? 6? In exactly 3 days from now, it will be 7. It caused you much inconvenience, I fear. Yeah, you could say that. Is she well? Trucy, I mean? She's fine. I've got her working already, hope you don't mind. I hardly need to express my gratitude, but you have it. This is why I have come. That, and to settle a matter of cards. By which you mean poker? Those eyes, he's serious. I despise losing above all else, and so I have decided that I will win tonight no matter what it takes. I know this guy's type, and they're dangerous. Everything's about the competition, all else is secondary. Perhaps we should take the time to talk before we play. I know you have much to ask me. And you. We competed that day 7 years ago, too. Ah, yes. You must have been surprised. Called to the detention center out of the blue. 2. 1. Showdown time. I lost. I know, Budokai. He was straight like Violet. He was a Violet man. I love they played in the detention center. I actually didn't stop to think about that. A game I played for a long time and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. You choose your defense attorneys by playing poker. Some are hired, others fired. When you compete, you see a man's true nature. You know what I speak of. I know that you do. Trucy's power? Trucy. She is in a class of her own. For 7 years I've played poker here at the Borscht Bowl Club, and I've never lost once. I'm good, but not that good. I win because whenever there's a big game, I bring in Trucy. And she sends me signals. Daddy, he's got a good hand. You might have a chance if you act quick. Better call him soon. Can you tell me what her power is? Judging a person's thoughts by reading their reactions is a staple of performance magic. But those of Trucy's line possess far greater skill. Her line? Recall, you were the second man to whom I've lost. Magnifi Gramarye. That was the first time I learned of this power, as you call it. Wait, so you're saying her power is genetic? It's just in the Gramarye blood or something? Blood. He definitely was a bit of a jerk, Budokai, especially considering he left his daughter. I mean, I know he had to go on the run and all, but still. I am sorry, but it is not something lightly told to outsiders. And it is nothing you need to know about at this time. It's some kind of Gramarye secret then? Fine. She's 15 this year. She's still trying her best to follow in your footsteps, you know. I see. When I planned my disappearing act, it was the thought of her alone that gave me pause. Okay. Wait, you were planning on vanishing from the get-go? Yes, and for that, I must apologize. However, I could not be found guilty that day. Because of this. This. A transferal of rights. You see the signature? A transferal? That's Magnifi Gramarye's signature, isn't it? Look at that, it's the real page. I hereby give all rights to the secret staging and performance of my magic, to the recipient named below. And the recipient's name is you, Zach Gramarye. Yes, it is I. Wait, this page looks torn. You recall the diary, yes? And he really should have given it to freaking Phoenix. First, take a look at this diary. Note that a page has been clearly ripped out. I have here what I believe to be the missing page. Wait, let me see that. How could I forget? That scrap of paper lost me my attorney's badge. This is the real page that was torn from the book. Magnifi gave it to me that night. You could have told me earlier, like 7 years earlier. I love that he says that. Once again, I must apologize. It was all I could do to prepare for my escape from the courtroom. The greatest of Magnifi Grammari's illusions are true art. As such, they are well protected by this document. Only its bearer may perform his illusions on stage. Sounds like a pretty important thing to have if you're his disciple. As the rightful heir to his art, I too wanted a rightful heir. I'm sure you know who I chose as my successor. Your daughter. That is why I've risked all to come here tonight. Russell. Sir! Ah, here you go! What's this? A letter passing the rights I've inherited to Trucy. I would have you sign here as a witness. But I'm not a lawyer anymore. And you need a public notary besides. Ah, I may not look like it, but I'm a certified notary. You are? By day, I wear a notary's glasses and hunt for the news. Also by day, I wear a reporter's glasses and notarize. When I take off the glasses, I can't see very well. This guy is so funny. I like Brushel a lot. Your signature, please. This is the first reason I have come here tonight. Ah, I finally figured it out. Now I know why you've come out of hiding only now. It's been 7 years, you said. Precisely. There's a law that covers your situation. After 7 years, missing persons are considered to be legally deceased. So if someone was to vanish from the face of the earth 7 years ago, they would lose all rights as a living person after 7 years from that day. Not to mention all of their possessions. Exactly. Which is why I am here. I risk showing my face in public for the sake of this document. Before my 7 years are up. You might say, I am securing my daughter's inheritance. But do you really need this document? Wouldn't Trucy inherit your estate automatically? Not in this case, I'm afraid. Yes, I received the performance rights from Magnifi Grammari. However, this was done in secret without witnesses. Before Magnifi died, 2 potential successors to his repertoire were named. Myself, Zach Grammari, and Valent Grammari. Not Trucy. I see, so you do need this document. I have known Brushel since before I vanished. He is a man I trust. Now, only 3 know of my rebirth. I took the liberty of looking into Trucy's background, and found you had no other close kin. It is as you say. Okay. I was kind of hoping he'd say something about the mother at this point. I know everyone else, but Trucy's mother is a mystery. I don't think I have any evidence for that. Mr. Zach, could you tell me about this? Alright, we probably got to, won't get a rise unless I show him something real interesting. The person in this photo is Trucy's mother. How did you come by this? Trucy showed it to me. She said her mother was gone. Then it is so. Huh? She is gone. What more is there to say? Lots? Ah, I know. Whoa, you're still here? According to my in-depth research, Trucy's mother, Magnifi Grammari's only daughter, end quote. Wait, what? Magnifi's daughter, is that true, Mr. Zach? Brushel, you say too much. Yeah, what? Why am I the bad guy? Why? Zach decked him. Wow, he straight punched him, holy cow. What an aggressive man. In any case, Mr. Wright, the discussion is over. The Lhasa Grammari, she's the most mysterious of the whole lot. I need to gather some more evidence, clearly. Well, the prelude may have been longer than the main attraction. Shall we begin our game? My final competition. Final? Why? As you said, I have come out of hiding today to make this document legally binding. Once that is done, I shall slip once more underground. Without seeing your daughter? It would be best if I did not. 7 years ago we played. 7 years ago I lost. I already lost a Magnify. I do not care to lose another. And I have heard that you never lose. It's just a rumor. Yes, for it is impossible to never lose, unless one has an ace up one's sleeve. As a magician, it causes me no end of irritation. To think a mere lawyer might be out there pulling the wool over so many eyes. Hey, I just signed your document for you. Maybe you could try lightening up. That was that. This is this. For my final competition, I will destroy your perfect record, Phoenix Wright. This will be my final performance. You are warned. This guy is beyond serious. So much for a fun evening of cards. Brushel, you may leave. Ah, but it's your last game. I mean, what a scoop. I punch and I punch, but still it is not enough. Alright, just remember the future prior engagement. Toodles, gentlemen. Oh, nice meeting you, Piano Man. You know, I call it Grammary, but it could be Grammary. It could be Grammary. I honestly, that's the problem with English, right? Let us begin, dealer. You'll be witness to our competition. Ah, it is honor for me. Why haven't I seen her around here before? Ah, that reminds me. I saw a familiar face as I entered this restaurant. He did not seem to notice me, however. Gavin, I believe was his name. You know him. After a fashion. Listen, Phoenix Wright. One can learn much from a true competition. Remember this. That Grammary power. Yeah, maybe it is Grammary. I always thought rye, like R-O-Y-E, rye bread, but it could be Grammary. That Grammary power. I don't know, Grammary to me sounds more majestic, but, interesting. Orally. I was close to understanding it, but I needed more, and I knew where to get it. Trucy's mother. I need to meet that reporter again, that was clear. And one other thing. From the moment my final competition with Zach began that night, a name was running through my head. The name of a man now in prison. A name that Zach Grammary knew, but how and why? Yep, poor Zach. Died in the first case. Alright, let's go back in the past. Detention center. Who's in the detention center in the past? Maybe Valance? 7 years ago. What strange sight doth mine eyes behold? Excuse me? Two men on either side of a single transparent pane, yet it seems fickle fate has switched sides, so to speak. The forger of fakes walks freely, while the innocent languishes behind these plexiglass confines. There's been no proof that I forged anything, nor proof that I took the life of my dear mentor. Yet, these chains cannot hold me for long. The stage awaits. And what, may I ask, awaits you? A little piano and a cold little hole in the wall. But since you are here, what shall we discuss? The shooting of Magnify Grammary, for one. Who pulled that trigger, Valent or his partner, Zach? You can actually, Budokai, present evidence from the future, which is a little weird. It is a little weird. But I think, like, you know, this is more like a symbolic representation than, like, the actual true events, so... It's weird, and I kind of wish they didn't do it, but it does make evidence kind of fun. Actually, I think there's only one thing. I think it's the nail polish that you go from future to present, or future to past, so it's not even like a lot of stuff. I'm going to get any closer to the truth. This is the place to start. I have to hand it to my partner. He knows how to make an exit. That's talent. Yes, he made my attorney's badge disappear and he never even touched it. Glory's spotlight always leaves someone weeping in the shadows. Yet his very disappearance is itself a revelation. Revealing what? Zach Grammary killed Magnify. It's as good as a signed confession. That's certainly been public opinion's take on it. I grow tired of my cage, and the time of my release is near. I must go and prepare. Preparing on jumping back into magic right away? As long as an audience waits with bated breath, there will be Valent, and also... Now that my partner has disappeared, Magnify's repertoire is mine. Valent Grammary has a tradition to uphold. Is that true? Seen in this light, the trial was quite good to me, verdict or no. And yet, you can't pay for that kind of publicity. The suspicion on you hasn't lifted entirely, Valent. After all, you received one of those letters too. You were just as obligated to follow Magnify's instructions as your partner. So I was, but only Zach Ramurai followed them. Let us not speak any more of who shot what. Now that my partner has vanished, the question is moot. I'm more interested in learning something else, actually. What might that be? I want to know what Magnifi had up his sleeve. How could he coerce you and your partner to kill him? The trick up his sleeve. Ha 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 ha. Perhaps you do not know. Know what? A great magician never reveals his secrets. Whoa, that's a lot of locks. I didn't think it would be that easy. The audience must remain forever in the audience, bathing in the reflected glow of the spotlight. Let's see if we can try it. Let's try it. The trick up his sleeve. I'm flying by the seat of my pants on this one. There must be a path leading from the evidence to the truth. And that's what I'm gonna find. To ask someone to take a life, even not one long for this world, that's asking someone to commit murder. Yes, our mentor was fond of dramatic moves and dramatic finales, and he got his wish, his life was taken. What weakness could be so powerful as to coerce someone into committing murder? My guess is that it was a matter of life or death. Care to explain? Your troupe lived in a world of showmanship, the flashier the better. And flashy so often means danger, doesn't it? Let us make this as painless as possible. If you have proof of this danger, then show it. Let's try the gun. Why, that's one of ours. Specially designed for your show, I gather. It is, yeah, it is retro. When you investigate in earlier games, when you investigate, that HP bar transfers over to the courtroom, and it actually gets healed at the end of a psych lock too. You can heal it. A single bullet or shot. What are you suggesting? We are magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers. I'm not crying murder, Mr. Valent. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident. Zach and Valent's quick draw shoot 'em. How long has it been since those shots were last heard? Was the shoot 'em canceled because someone might get hurt? Of course, what other reason could there be? Well, it could have been canceled because someone had already been hurt. Fascinating, my Faustian forging friend. But tell me, what can you prove with a single pistol? Well, tell me what would have happened if there had been an accident. What if one of your bullets took a life on stage? The performance of magic is not concerned with what-ifs. It is concerned with precision. Precisely whom do you claim was shot? Looks like I've chosen the right path. Let's just hope he walks it with me. A life was sacrificed so that the show might go on. And this shows who it was. But that's... Zach Ramurai's wife and Trucy's mother. Thalassa, I believe, was her name. Ah! Alakazah! Kirito, it's nice to see you! Happy Sunday! Are you working today? Are you having a nice break? But how can you say this? How can you say she was struck by one of our own bullets? Still in denial, eh? Thalassa was at the greatest risk of being shot, and this clearly shows just how much danger she was in. I don't know that I have the evidence for this. Yeah, I don't know that I have the evidence for this yet. Time to do a little more legwork, yeah. Look at diary pages. Yeah, I guess we can do that. Let's try it. Here. The ripped out page. Now I see that everything has been a setup. Also, I would present forged evidence to the court. Okay, I guess that was it. Maybe something on the back. There's that silk hat. Oh, maybe I could have, I guess what I could have done was share, his letter That his letter was like so life and death. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Maybe. I'll do a little more searching. Let's see. I'll do a little more searching, and if not, we'll go for that too. Because truthfully, there's a lot of stuff that we haven't looked at yet. Oh, you're still at work. Do you get to eat free food, Kirito? Free McDonald's? Look at this cell. What a nice and lavish prison cell this is. Well, well. Isn't this an unexpected surprise? What errand brings you down to my cramped confines? Gavin. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago. My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. Fine. I'm glad I could have this little tete-a-tete right. How do you pronounce that? Tete-a-tete? Tit for tat? I don't know. You look well, Phoenix Wright. You too, Gavin. Oh, this music is so good. Life has been full of surprises for both of us. I've no doubt you never expected to lose that attorney's badge of yours. And I'll bet you never expected to wind up here. Shady Smith was the name of the man you killed. Did you know who he really was? Who he was? Zach Ramurai, you know, the defendant. I remember him, of course. But you say Smith was Zach. Impossible. Don't even try to tell me it was a coincidence. What did I just say? Life is full of surprises, don't you think? After that trial, you were arrested and found guilty. But your motive was never made clear. I know, Budokai, but you know what my thought was? My thought was they wanted to focus more on new characters than old characters. Definitely the most... You know what? Has anyone here seen, what's that show? Baki? Does anyone know, Oliver? What's his name? Biscuit Oliver from Baki? It reminds me of him in prison. A mistake I plan to remedy. You're not an attorney anymore, Phoenix Wright. What possible conclusion do you think this investigation of yours can lead to? I killed a man named Smith with a bottle because I am an evil human being. Isn't that enough? Not for me, it isn't. I need to know why you did it, Gavin. Is this Gavin's theme? Maybe. Because you know what? I actually think it is, because this music played at the start of the case when you ate dinner, in the start of the Borscht Bowl clip. You recall that case 7 years ago? Ah, yes, the trial where Zach Ramurai pulled his famous vanishing act. My brother won his fair share of praise and adoration for that trial, as I recall. Genius prosecutor reveals crooked attorney, was it? That was when I met you, wasn't it? Was it now? The Bar Association Review voted unanimously for the strictest punishment. Unanimous, save for one dissenting opinion. Yours. It was my brother who was responsible for putting you in that position, after all. For 7 years, we've been friends. And yet, I still don't understand you. But right, your friendship towards me was never pure. You suspected me then as you do now, don't you? Honestly, right now, I'm not sure what I think. I love this relationship that Phoenix and Gavin has, that they were friends, but also not pure of friends. Hey, Sunny D, it's so nice to see you, man. What have you been up to? So nice to see you, dude. You didn't just brain a guy with a juice bottle for no reason. Tell me why you did it. Persistent, aren't you? I came here because I remembered something. The night of our game. Zach Ramurai mentioned your name, Gavin. That reminds me. I saw a familiar face as I entered this restaurant. He did not seem to notice me, however. Gavin, I believe was his name. After that, he was killed, and I asked you to help me. Because I remembered your kindness back when everyone had turned on me. Really? Is that right? Remembered your kindness back when everyone turned on me. Was that the actual reason Phoenix didn't suspect him at the time? Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him hard. Me, please. The cop should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should have come to that. They really do. Beto, the music in these games, chef's kiss. They do such a good job with the atmosphere, the tone, the excitement. Some of the best music. I think Capcom does a good job with music, and really, these Attorney games are great. Oh, is Lunar New Year today? That's awesome. Happy Lunar New Year. Are you Chinese? That's awesome. I have to know. Why did you kill Shady Smith? No, Zach Gramurai. Yep, I'm with you, Budokai. I think it has the best music in all the games. Oh, I forgot about these black ones. Whoa. I've never seen Cyclops like these. Dark, cold, full of despair. Can I even unlock these things? Something wrong, right? No, it's nothing. You shouldn't push yourself so hard. Life is to be taken easy, you know. He's doing his nails. I love that he does his nails. That feels very Christoph Gavin, doesn't it? You're thinking, what self-respecting man would use nail polish? Not really. I know appearances are a big thing with you. You know what I say? One cannot live a beautiful life without beautiful nails. First-rate in all things, except nothing less. That certainly does look like first-rate nail polish. I like the sparkly bottle. It's crystal. If you're so drawn to it, please, have one. It's on me. Let's see. Hey, Budokai, what's up? What would you like to show and tell? Wait. Were Black Cyclops used in Spirit of Justice? I don't remember that. I'm sorry, did I say Sunny? I meant Sunny, not Budokai, of course. Okay, I remember the nail polish was important for Drew's Studio. 7 years ago. Drew's Studio. Sunny D, what would you like me to show? I figured you'd come back here sooner or later. I decided on sooner. Drew Misham, was it? I haven't done anything illegal. And I didn't come here to whine about past events. My favorite PET. Honestly, my favorite PET. In all honesty, it's got to be one of my plugins behind me. I think the shape and color of these are so iconic. I think the box is beautiful. I think everything about the old like anime style BN3 PETs are great. Though I will say, more rare than that is this one, which doesn't get shown a lot in the videos. This is the deluxe edition of the Progress PET. The regular PET, the regular Progress PET is pretty common, but this one is a little special. If you look closely, you'll see the silhouette of Proto Man on it. This one in box is quite cool. So I don't like it nearly as much as the others, but as the plugin, I think the plugin's just cooler, but this is one of my rarest ones, and having it in the box is pretty cool. So, do you want one, Kirito? They're kind of expensive, but actually, Kirito, I would sell the one behind me. I have I think I have one extra one. If you would like it, I would sell it. I also have an opened one, but you know, like this one right here. I think I've been talking to a guy who kind of wants to buy this one off of me. But if you're interested in like touching it up with like stickers and stuff, I have a really cool one. Do I have it near me? Give me a second to look here. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. I found it. The chair. This chair is it's not the best. I think quote unquote real streamers, they need a gamer chair. I need to get a gamer chair. This one, it's obviously more worn. So it's not as exciting baseline. But I will say that if someone were interested in this one, I believe it's still totally functional. It's obviously like, the color is distorted. But I think a really cool project for someone, if they were interested, would be to like repaint it or to get like stickers to cover it. I think this would be a cool one, and this one would be a lot cheaper because it's not in great condition. So I have one box and I have one that's in not great condition too. So those are both really good. Do you want to collect all the PETs, Kirito? Maybe it's good that I've been waiting to send you the plushies that you have, because I wouldn't mind adding that if you have more money and you want to buy one. If you guys, some of you probably know this, but this year I'm really focusing hard on better YouTube content and better editing. So honestly, I'm selling just about all of my collection. There's a few things I wouldn't sell, but other than that, almost everything's for sale. So if you're interested in PETs, if you're interested in rare battle chips, if you're interested in, I've got like a lot of cool stuff. Like this is like a sealed 4.5 with all the chips that are in it, right? The chips that it comes with, as well as the Proto Man gates. Like, this is a really cool collector's item. I have the movie version of Battle Network 5 in Japan, which is pretty cool. I've got a lot of cool Mega Man stuff, so open invite to anyone who's interested. And I will also say, I'll do one more quick peek here. I have a lot of anti-Navi plushies. They're really, I just think these are the coolest things ever. I got a whole bunch of them, order them from Japan. So if people are interested in these, I've got these for sale. Definitely shoot me a DM. I'm going to put these on eBay eventually, but if you want a better price, obviously eBay takes fees. You let me know, because those anti-Navi dolls are great. Just shoot me a DM on Discord and I'd be happy to help. So you're supporting your, I don't know if I'm your favorite streamer, but one of your favorite streamers, hopefully. One of your favorite content creators. I'm definitely working hard on YouTube this year. Anyway, let's get back to the game. That was a fun distraction. Thank you very much, Sonny. Love to show up my stuff here. All right. And I didn't come here to whine about past events. I wanted to ask you some questions. I suppose you have that right. That day, the entire court descended into chaos. Only you stood still, your eyes calmly watching. I admit it made quite an impression on me. I'm used to finding myself in outrageous situations. Phoenix Wright, was it? I'll answer what I can. I'm not sure, but it feels like I'm being watched. Look at her, young Vera! This girl in the present day is the one who's on trial. She's on trial for killing this very man, her father. But she also got poisoned, and it was implied that it was because she was biting her nails and the nail polish was poisoned. Ah, this is my daughter, Vera. Say hello. She is so cute. Wait, Budokai, you're right. That's actually a plot hole. That's a legit plot hole. It was just, you're right. It was actually just the judge and, maybe when they got back, or maybe is Drew Misham referring to, Shady Smith or, Zach Gramurai disappearing? But then I think Drew Misham left the courtroom before that. I don't know, it's weird. Because Drew Misham was interested in Phoenix Wright before that. That is a plot hole. That's an actual plot hole right there. She's gone. Because you're right. I think Drew Misham left. And Drew Misham was interested in Phoenix Wright before the disappearing act. So, shall we begin then? Judging from this place, you're a painter? No, sadly, a profitable one. Or not sadly profitable, and I've never sold a painting. It's a source of considerable embarrassment. I would be able to get by were it only me. Your daughter. Her mother grew wary of me and left. I don't want her to grow up needy, Mr. Wright. This is why I began my other occupation. Forgeries. Don't look at me with those eyes. I know what it is that I do. More than half of the paintings they bring me are stolen, and who knows what my copies are used for. But some of your works aren't paintings, correct? You may not believe me when I tell you this, But that was my first work outside of painting. What? To think it would be used as evidence in a murder trial. I never even imagined the possibility. Then why did you take the job? I was well paid. Very well paid. I think he feels worse about it than I do. The past is hard to escape. Honestly, the sooner I can put this behind me, the better. With apologies to you, of course. Sorry, but it's not going to be quite so easy. He's trying to forget what he made. Looks like I'll have to remind him. Before I show this to him, I do want to examine what exactly that stamp looked like. Actually, can I examine this? Going home by any chance? So no, I was just checking the door. Good thing I'm far too stubborn to take hints like that. There it is. Look at that stamp. Maybe I'll just sit along over here for a closer look. That's a pretty bottle. Ah, don't touch that, please. I'll get in trouble. It belongs to Vera, you see. She always puts it somewhere she can see it. She looks at it often. There's a light pink fluid inside. Nail polish, I'm guessing. What's this red envelope? Ah, don't touch that. That's, it's quite important. The painter's face just changed hues. Guess I'd better behave. Though it's tempting to just grab it. That's an awfully small frame. What's that inside it? Aha, please don't touch that, I'll get in trouble. That stamp belongs to Vera, you see. She always puts it somewhere she can see it. Look at that, Troop Grammari. That's Zack and Valent the Grammaris, isn't it? The post office issued that commemorative stamp last year, when the Grammaris were at the height of their popularity. Not anymore. Now that one of them has vanished off the face of the earth. You got it, Kirito, no problem. 2 weeks or 4, you got it. Do you want me to hold on to your stuff and add that to it? Because again, you're saving shipping money, so I'm happy to. But also, I know you've been waiting a while, so if you would rather just me ship it, you let me know either way. Vera went to see one of their shows when she was quite small. She's been a dedicated fan ever since. She must be scary behind closed doors. She watched them every time they came on TV until the end. That stamp's quite hard to come by, I hear. I still wonder how she got her hands on it. This is you and Vera? Yes, we took that one quite recently. I know, I'm a painter. Why not paint a portrait instead? I've never been that good at people, unfortunately. Ah, right. Shouldn't you practice? Alright, let's go ahead and remind him of his forgery. Your work. Don't try to pretend you've forgotten. Sure, all you did was make a copy. But that copy might have destroyed the life of an innocent man. I'm responsible too, which is why I have to know. And you have to tell me. I knew it would be difficult to escape this. Then let's talk. I actually feel kind of bad for Drew Mission. Ruin his life as well as it. Well then, ready to tell me about the work you did? Kirito, I would give a good deal on this one. If you were interested in repainting it, or like using stickers or something. This one I would definitely do. The other one I might be selling to someone else. But I would do a good deal on that one. The plugin PETs are really rare. They were never released in the US. I believe they were like the Philippines and Japan. Something like that. I'll do all of them over time better. If you look down below, you can see it's I've completed one game out of 1,735. So I'm gonna be going every single DS game. If you have a favorite DS game, I will eventually get to it. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Now, I'm not gonna beat every game because a lot of the games in the DS are shovelware. In fact, most of them are shovelware. But I'm definitely gonna beat the ones that are real games, and I'm excited to do them. And I'll start making a list of the games that I beat, which will be good. It was unlike anything I had attempted before. I guess it will be a little different from paintings. That is not what I mean. And on my previous work, it sufficed to create a copy. This wasn't a copy? The client gave me 2 things that day. The first was a sample page as a reference. The second, a printed document I can only surmise was written by my client. So use the real writing as a reference to reproduce what the client wrote. Yes, as I said, it was my first job in nature. Leo, I'm counting Animal Crossing on the DS as a game I beat. I played it on Groundhog Day, and I basically reset the game a bunch to have Mr. Rossetti show up a bunch of times. Then I listened to KK play his music, and I watched the credits roll. So, like, how do you beat Animal Crossing, right? Like, that was how I considered it. So yeah, I beat Animal Crossing, which also starts with the letter A. So I'm still on my A letters. The European and Japanese have really good ones, but some are better than others. I'll probably eventually get to European and Japan. Japan might be tough because I definitely can't read Japanese. But there are some Japanese games I really want to play, like the Elite Beat Agents, Okuden, I think. That, you know, the male cheerleader squad. I really want to play that game. I want to play the Japanese Miles Edgeworth. Yeah, those are ones I'm super, super interested in, so yeah. You have a Progress PET coming, Kirito, right? I believe the blue one. I think that's the one that I'm sending to. That's like $60. It's like $60. As I said, it was my first job of that nature. So, who was your client? As I said in court, I do not know. Really? Even for such a suspicious request? If it was me, I'd want to know as much as I could about the requester. I never met them, not personally, Oh, which one is that, Budokai? Ah, Cyclock, of course. Seems you're still hiding something. Something about this work. Let's see if we can do it. The side, his side hairdo. I'm excited to play the Okudan, yeah. What's a Nanashi no Game? Or is it a Nanashi no Game? Let's hear it then. What are you hiding from me, Mr. Mission? I'm sorry, but I really don't know. I never met the client. True, when I asked the client's name, there were no Cyclocks in sight. Oh, translations of games, yeah. Yeah, if I can find good translations of DS games, I'm super down to play them when I finish the North Americans. Oh, a horror game, got you. Kind of like 999, is that like a horror game? Something like that, maybe? You have to be, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. Why are you doing this to me? Well, I made my stand, no backing down now. So what's Misham hiding? I can pretty much piece together what it is you've said. What is that, then? You told me what you know about the client, and I couldn't see any Cyclocks. Psycholocks? Is that some sort of asylum security or a new hairstyle? But then they did show up, didn't they? Oh, that's cool. 2D RPG and a first-person evade. That actually sounds really interesting. I love the DS for unique games like that. As I said in court, I do not know. Even for such a suspicious request? Not personally. Again with these Psycholocks, now I really must know what they are. So you didn't meet with the client, but someone else did. Maybe the real forger behind this evidence. Perhaps I'm hung up on this lock business, but I'm afraid you've lost me. Yeah, well, I didn't come here to talk about Cyclocks. Or Psyche Locks is probably the word. It's probably Psyche Locks instead of Cyclocks. Because they always say psycho. As long as I come to the right conclusion, it doesn't matter how I got there. And your conclusion is, the real forger behind this wasn't you, Mr. Mission. Poppycock! I don't know what you're talking about. That's my work, I tell you. Made here in my studio. Who else could have been but me? That's the real question, isn't it? If the forger wasn't you, then I don't have many people to choose from. The real forger is... And we know this from the present day. The real forger is your daughter, Vera Mission, isn't it? Ridiculous! My daughter's only 12 years old, Mr. Wright. I've always been more one for landscapes, not surrealism. Nice comeback, but you're shaking in your boots. I got you now. The only 2 people with access in the studio are you and your daughter. The Cyclocks tell me you're not the forger, which makes your daughter the only possibility. I feel very much on the verge of going Psycholock myself. Oh, you hold it sideways? You know what one of my favorite sideways DS games is? Hotel Dusk. Anyone ever play that game? Great game. I don't know how you knew, but you're right. The one who made this page was my daughter, Vera. She's only 12, a genius you might call her. A precocious little girl outshining her father. There's been a lot of that going around recently. That's funny. I let her play in the studio and she watched me. She taught herself in that way. The drafting tools and analytical devices I bought when they became necessary. They're my little girl's playthings now. Ah, do I detect a bit of fatherly pride? So Vera was the one who made this page. Would she know who the client was then? Actually, the client came once, here to the studio. What? Why didn't you say so sooner? But their face was covered and they did not want to talk to me. So they talked to your daughter? I will speak only with the artist, the client told me. That little girl might know something about him. Okay, what do I do now? Maybe I should talk to her father a bit more? Or is it time to turn my attention to Vera? Mr. Misham, I have a request. Let me guess, you'd like to speak with my daughter. Can I? My daughter has never been one to talk to strangers. She's quite shy, extremely so. With only one exception. Oddly enough, it was that client. I left the studio while they talked. I returned when they had finished, and she was laughing. It was the first time I'd seen anything of the sort. Please, let me speak with her. All right. Oh, you know what, Beto? I love that you say that because, again, starts with A, so I'm going to be playing again pretty soon. Play with the same devs. I'm excited to check it out. I've heard of that. It's another visual novel, right? Yeah, letter A, so I'm going to play it. That's probably going to be my 5th or 6th game, so really excited to play again. Uh-oh, this could be tough. Vera, was it? Alright, would you like to have a friendly chat? I'm Phoenix Wright, ex-lawyer and pianist. I'm still looking for the keys that say do, re, mi. Can't find them anywhere. I'm no good at this. I need something to get through to this girl. Should I show her own stamp? And then there's this. My stamp. Hey, she spoke. She can talk. Yeah, so the stamp. How can I keep her talking? Great magicians, aren't they? Isn't Troop Grammar amazing? Oh, look at her cute little eyes. Yes? Oh. I especially like those two, Zach and Valent. I mean, they're, just so magical. Aren't they? Aren't they? Yeah, whenever I go to one of their shows, I'm like, whoa, magic, you know? Me too, I love them, they're just so cool. It's like magic, yeah. All right, she's talking, not saying much, but it's a start. Look how cute she is. I'm playing more tomorrow, Budokai. Every Monday I'm playing Star Force Deluxe. So tomorrow I'm gonna be back at it. I went and saw them with Father the other day. The opening ceremony at the Grammar Museum of Magic. The museum? They have one of those? I guess it makes sense now that they have their own commemorative stamp. So have you been to one of their shows? Just once when I was little with Father. The Grammars on stage, it was like a dream. Disappearing, reappearing, cutting apart, putting back together, they do it all. Yeah, maybe you can keep telling me stuff like this. You know, about Zach and Valent maybe. Oh, sure. All right, better get asking before she changes her mind. I don't go outside much. I like to paint in here. Why don't you like the outside? There's bad people out there. Well, true, but there's lots of good people too. Actually, I should tell you. She was almost kidnapped once. Kidnapped? Since then, she's been... Well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. I see. Wait, but that doesn't make sense. She said she went to see the Grammar Museum. With you, in fact. Ah, yes, actually, she was quite insistent on it, much to my surprise. That was the first and last time she expressed such a desire to me. That person gave me a good luck charm. A good luck charm? For when I absolutely had to go outside. Yes, apparently, she received something. A gift. From that client, actually. She won't tell me what it was. Father, I told you to keep that a secret. From that client, huh? This I have to hear about. So your father tells me you're good at painting all sorts of things. I really like painting a lot. Father's always very happy when I paint them exactly the same. So you did this too? Oh yes, that was my first job. Your first? All I used to do was paint the same thing I saw. But this was totally different. The pen slips the same way the writer held the pen and the pressure on the nib. I had to use a microscope and analyze it on the computer. She seems happy. Odd, her work was the last nail in the grammar coffin. I guess no one told her. That's actually kind of sad. So you met the person that asked you to do this job? And you talked with them? What's this about a good luck charm you received? I can't talk about it. If I do, it won't work anymore. That's what I was told. Yeah, but I really have to know. Psych-lux. Psyche-lux. Right, time to do some psych unlocking. They're the best in the world. Oh, you mean Troop Grammari? Of course. Father gave it to me. Your father? Why'd I ask him about it? He didn't know how you got it. Oh, I guess I just took it. Yeah, took it. Father got a letter from that person. You mean that letter was from the client? Oh, we talked about the Grammars forever that day. I'm sure that's why I was sent that stamp. I didn't want to just send it back, so I took it. They were sneaky when this client, so they were trying to get on our good side. Oh, you want a 4.5 PET, Kirito? Hold on a second. You mean like this? An advanced PET2? I have it for sale. It is for sale. You seem to trust this client a lot. Because they gave you this stamp? No, that's not why. They listen to me. To my problem. The problem that keeps her inside all the time? Don't go outside if you don't want to. That's what they told me. But when I absolutely have to go out, all I have to do was use a good luck charm. Good luck charm that your client gave you. I think I know what your client might have given you, actually. Is this your good luck charm? This was what they gave you, wasn't it? Ah! The same bottle's over there on your desk. Your good luck charm, right? I heard once, cosmetics were once thought to ward off evil. This is a magic bottle. It has that power. Ah, of course it does. I'll just refrain from commenting any more on that one. I think I know who gave you that bottle, actually. The one who asked you to do this job. Was this the client? This man is a friend of mine. Know him? His name is Christoph Gavin. He's a lawyer, actually. I promised. I promised not to tell. So, Budokai, here's my thought on this. At this point in the game, Phoenix had his license taken away, and it was a unanimous vote except for one. So I do think he was friends with Kristoff at this point. I think he had basically just started being friends. I think he just started, basically. Oh, is that right, Lich King? Did you just get the HD collection? Hold up, which which HD collection? For Apollo Justice? Or for Phoenix Wright? Phoenix Wright, he was the client before he knew. I can't talk about the client, I promised. So true, Oshihine. Zack ditches his daughter and then smashes, he smashes a bottle against the dealer. He punches, yeah, he's an aggressive guy for sure. Definitely not a clear-cut good guy. Oh, Etrian Odyssey! That's an Atlas game, isn't it? I've never played those games, but I know they're like dungeon crawlers. If I break my promise, the spell won't work. I don't need a name anymore, I got my answer. You're pretty confident in this charm, then. I think they might be the devil. Huh? Or maybe an angel. What do you mean? I saw it. Or I think I saw it. When they gave me this. I saw the devil's face. Are you saying the client's face looked like the devil's? No, the client was gentle with a gentle smile. So where'd you see this devil then? It was so quick, I don't remember well. But that's when I knew that person wasn't like other people. That's why I believe in my good luck charm. I'm not sure what this devil she saw was, but it's pretty clear that Christoph Gavin has her charmed. Well, I think that's all. I'll be leaving now. I'm sorry for what has happened. If you want to apologize, try my client, Zach Gramerai. That's true, Oshahine. Yeah, other than Vera, right? Other than Vera. But otherwise, yeah, you're right. Phoenix himself is not. Waki himself is like a criminal, like a known gangster who himself kind of hypes up that he shot the gun. And then the boy, Machi Tobai, was like a smuggler, right? He smuggled in those cocoons. That's very true, Oshahine. That's a really good observation. She saw the devil and yet she trusts him. I guess she believes in the magic, perhaps. But she said, like, the devil or an angel. So she was, like, not quite sure. Did I do something bad? What makes you think that? Your eyes, they're sad. Very sad. That's true! That's true. Even Vera forges evidence. How could I forget? No, you're right. You're right. No, you're absolutely right. That's a great observation. I'll put on my smile next time I come, I promise. I hope to see a smile then too, Vera. Oh, okay. Take care. I hope that Phoenix comes back with Trucy to do some magic. Thinking back on my first encounter with the young forger, I witnessed something of vital importance that day. Of course, by the time I realized it, it was already too late. To think that freaking Christoph Gavin would give this girl poison nail polish. Absurd. You know what? Now let's go back. Let's see if we present the pages to Zach Gramerai, if that'll work. Well, hold up. Let's look at the court record real quick. We have... Oh, the stamp! Actually, you know what? I think the stamp is something I could show. Wish we found a way not to do the money. You know what my thought is? This is obviously just headcanon because he never says it. My headcanon is that he wanted to pay for Lamoureux's eye surgery. That's my take. But again, that's just, you know, that's just conjecture, right? Because I know at the end of that trial, Lamoureux talks about eye surgery. If you have proof of this danger, then show it. Why, that's one of ours. Specially designed for your show, I gather. A single bullet, one shot. What are you suggesting? We are magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers. I'm not crying murder, Mr. Valent. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident. Zach and Valent's quick draw. How long has it been since those shots were fired? Well, it could have been cancelled because someone had already been hurt. Fascinating, my Faustian forging friend. But tell me, what can you prove with a single pistol? Well, tell me what would have had to happen if there had been an accident. What if one of the bullets took a life on stage? The performance of magic is not concerned with what ifs, it's concerned with precision. This shows who it was. Thalassa Gramerai. But that's Zach Gramerai's wife and Trucy's mother. Thalassa, I believe, was her name. Ah, Lekazal! But how can you say that? How can you say she was struck by one of our bullets? Still in denial, eh? Thalassa was at the greatest risk of being shot. I knew it. Troop Gramarai's performances were very, very popular. So popular they even made a commemorative stamp at the height of your fame. We were not merely the latest craze, we were an age, a golden age. It's all here on this stamp. There's Thalassa, yes. Trucy's mother is missing, I hear. What happened to her? I don't know. A part of his memory is still locked up. There was one thing you're failing to address. As you say, our troop was a world unto itself. If our leader Magnifi was so inclined, he could hide anything he wished with ease. But Mr. Wright, then he would have hid a crime, making him an accomplice. Not a great foundation for blackmail. Valent's got a point. If one of the troop members died in an accident and Magnifi covered it up, his innocence would come into question. Found the right address, Mr. Wright. I'm so close, there has to be something. about how her death would affect Zach and Valent's relationship. I see it in her eyes. You still have something to say. How can you possibly prove more than you already have? I'll prove why her accident tied it in your hands. So here's the deal. I could prove it with Magnifi himself, or with Thalassa herself. Because I think the fact that it's the daughter, right? Daughter of Magnifi Grammari. The fact that it was his daughter, I think, is the issue. So let's try that. It's gonna take a little knowledge of the players to crack this one. The accidental death of Zach's wife ties your hands. This proves why Magnifi held so much power over you. It wasn't a question of who shot Thalassa. Thalassa herself was the problem. What do you mean? She was Zach Grammarai's wife, Trucy's mother, and Magnifi Grammarai's only daughter. There was a terrible accident, and the two of you killed your mentor's only daughter. If that wasn't the key to Magnifi's power over you, I don't know what it was. It was an accident! We did it. There's no proof, none at all. But Thalassa went missing, and your mentor blackmailed both of his disciples. It doesn't take a genius to put one and one together. Ours was a complex family. You mean Troop Grammarai? The master, Magnifi Grammarai, his only daughter, and his two disciples. That does sound like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? Do not be tempted into faulty flights of fancy. Yes, there was an accident, but that is all it was, an accident. Zach and Valent's tour de force. The guns blaze, the bullets fly, straight towards that beautiful body on stage. Oh, appreciate the looks, you guys. And then crash, zing, pow, into everything but her. Now that is magic. It happened one day when we were practicing the same trick with a new twist, and tragedy. But as for whose bullet stole Thalassa's life, we shall never know the answer. Thalassa disappeared from our lives, and Zach was bereft of his wife. Trucy lost her mother, and Magnifi his daughter. And that led to blackmail, I take it. It is all part and parcel of the darkness that comes when the curtains fall. Why did Magnifi Grammarai try to cover up the accident? It was his own daughter who died. All I can say, it was a critical time for Troop Grammarai. A passing of the torch from Magnifi to Zach and Valent. We all sacrificed so that it might come to a success. Thalassa's death was the greatest sacrifice of all, yet, even when her life was extinguished, her presence was not. What do you mean? Hey there, Poltergeist! Or Poltergust! Actual plot hole, because Phoenix only learns of Thalassa being the wife 7 years in the future. True. There are some plot holes for sure with the Mason system. I was talking about, I was saying this earlier, especially like bringing future evidence in the past. You know, for me, it's like, this is like to me, the Mason system is like an AI, it's like a simulation, right? Like, not necessarily like, you know, exactly what happened. You know, it's because even Phoenix calls it a game, right? A way to make it more fun, perhaps, to reveal all that he knows. That's the way that I see it, but you're right, it is an absolute plot hole. We found a few plot holes, actually, in this area. Poltergeist, how are you? Nice to meet you. You seem to be a big Ace Attorney fan. In time, actually, one of these days, I'm going to show off my Apollo Justice briefcase. This is a special edition briefcase that's quite cool. I'm really excited to bust it open and make a YouTube video on it. Probably when I beat the game, I'll bust it open. Oh, very biased, Poltergeist, yeah. Phoenix is very biased. In time, me, myself, and Zach found we could no longer oppose Magnifi's wishes. Magnifi forced us to perform his art for his benefit. I see. I guess I can understand. I mean, he did lose his only daughter. But do you not find cowardice in his actions? To decide to hide the truth of your own daughter's death is one thing. but then to hang that death as a guillotine above our heads. Things were dark behind the scenes in Troop Grammari, that's for sure. User, let's just say I'm a big collector of Japanese stuff. And again, I'm trying to sell. User, if you yourself are interested, I'm gonna go full screen real quick. If you yourself are interested in Mega Man merch, I am selling not everything, but most of my merch to try and fund better YouTube funding this year for better YouTube videos, including anti-damage plushies, you know, very, very special PETs, real-life battleships, battleship gates, all sorts of cool stuff. So if you're ever interested in stuff, just let me know. Shoot me a DM on Discord. All right. There were dark scenes behind Troop Grammari, that's for sure. Does Trucy know? She was not told, naturally. Who would want to know that their father might have taken their mother's life? True. I had not thought of that accident for a very long time. I'm sorry to dredge up old memories, but this has helped a lot. Not to find Magnify's Slayer, I should think. After that accident, there was one who came sniffing quite persistently. A reporter. He called himself a newsman at the time. Often I spied him lurking about the dressing room doing his research. Would you happen to remember his name? Interesting, was Brushel really on this 7 years ago? I guess Brushel and Zach Grammari were friends, so it actually kind of makes sense if Zach knew him before time. What was his name? Sorry, I must have forgotten. But in the course of his interviewing, he became quite close to my partner, Zach. Yeah, there you go. I liked him not. I see. His name I do not recall, but his scent, the cloying aroma of mint. Yes, whenever he smiled, which was far too often. I see. Thanks for your help. It does no good to interfere with the past, Mr. Wright. You will not uncover answers, only wounds. Yeah, Budokai, DM me. DM me, definitely. I absolutely have some English PETs, I'm pretty sure. Most of them are Japanese, I'll be honest, but I think I have a few English ones. I'm sorry. I began to notice a dark curtain hanging over Troop Grammari, and I began to realize what I had to do. I had to protect Trucy from that darkness. The reporter he mentioned, the newsman, I never learned who it was at the time, though I've got a pretty good idea who it is now. That smile and that sickly sweet smell of mint. Those last floss-thin thread, the last floss-thin thread connecting Zach Grammari to the world. Sooner or later, I'd have to track him down. I wonder if he's still with Zach in the Borscht Bowl Club. All right, back to the present day, I suppose. Oh, Drew's studio in the present. Maybe that's actually where that might be where Brushel is. Present day, Drew's studio. Well, what do we have here? Remember me? Of course I remember you. Journalist meets ex-attorney in bar, end quote. Can I ask what you're doing here? Mr. Misham was poisoned and his daughters... Oh yes, I know. Oh, how I know, yes. It's caused me no end of grief, to be honest. Journalist wishes he'd tracked down case just a little quicker, end quote. Were you on the trail of the case the whole time? Zach Grammari was a good friend. Zach said something to that effect back at the Borscht Bowl Club. What a character, what a man. If a little, no. A lot, no. Extremely rough around the edges. Do you think I could ask you a few questions? Oh, you mean, you serious? I mean, I'm usually the interviewer, not the interviewee. Journalists ask questions, not other way around, end quote. Fine, shoot, I don't care. People have been asking me all sorts of things lately. Oh, interesting, so maybe this was after Apollo talks to him? It was tragic what happened to Drew Misham and his daughter. Forgery is a serious crime, and they paid the price. You know what really did him in, though, don't you? Yes, a forged diary page. The night I interviewed him, I found out something about Mr. Misham I hadn't known. What's that? You know, he always felt like he was being watched. Every day for 7 years, walls of ears, potatoes of eyes, end quote. Being watched? You mean he felt guilty? No, I'm not talking about feelings here. You know, I felt watched too. The whole time I've been here on this case, no less. Journalist gets tingling sensation on back of his neck, freaks out, end quote. Because you felt guilty? Why would I feel guilty? You felt like you were being watched, huh? I wonder what it all means. Drew Misham felt like he was being watched. And you along with him. You sure it wasn't just nerves? Nerves? No, it's nothing so mundane. I stopped paying attention to my nerves a long time ago. But I felt it too. Journalist sure he is being watched, end quote. Don't you ever wonder why Zach Grammari got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? That's a really good point. He completely vanishes from that courtroom. Then for 7 years he talks to no one, not a soul. Then, just as the remaining time was almost up, he contacts me in order to have this made. And then he dies. Starting to put the pieces together, are we? And you were being watched this whole time? Maybe not just me. Maybe you were too. Me. I met Zach through that case, actually. You mean the shooting of Magnifi Grammari? No, before that. It's not widely known. You mean the accident during the quick draw shoot 'em practice? My, you're well informed. You should have seen me back then. I dug up quite the scoop. I wanted it all. Money, fame, women, a little puppy, all for me. I was younger then, and my days and nights smelled of fresher mint than they do now. Valent Grammari did mention one particularly nosy reporter. In fact, I was on a close speaking terms with Magnifi Grammari at the time. I knew his daughter too, of course. Thalassa, was it? Really? Then Thalassa disappeared quite suddenly at that. And Magnifi wouldn't say a word about it. Yeah, my evil habit got the better of me. Journalist catches scent of a scoop, goes on feeding frenzy, end quote. I set up a one-on-one interview with Thalassa's husband, see? Zach Grammari. Something strange was in the air over at Troop Grammari in those days. The whole screwy mentor controlling disciples scene started by then, I'm guessing. Thalassa, she was part of it all. Right? Come on, you can tell me off the record. Sorry, I don't know. Anyway, I kept trying and eventually became friends with Zach. Sure, he punched me once or twice or 5 times. But over time, he came to see me as his confidant. He's been waiting this whole time, 7 years, eh? Waiting. For his big comeback, of course. A big revival of the Magnifi miracle. Of course, it was all a dream. Because of this. The performance rights. In the absence of any official documents, he was golden. Who's to say the old man didn't give the rights to both Zach and Valent? So Valent waited until Zach died, legally at least. The time finally comes and Valent's like a kid on Christmas morning. He's getting ready for his show at the Sunshine Coliseum, you know. If that document sees the legal light of day, it's gonna put a bit of a damper on the show. He's a sorry one, that Valent Grammari. Lost out to his partner at work, and in love, too. Love? It's the same old story, really. 2 disciples and their mentor's only daughter. What has 3 sides and all of them pointy? A love triangle. Hey, thank you, Beto. I really appreciate that. Beto, it was so great meeting you. I'm sorry we didn't get to finish this whole game for you tonight, but I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much for the follow, and I can't wait to play more DS games and check them out with you. Thank you very much, my friend. Really great to meet you. That is pretty classic. When you're in a performing troupe, that's your world. It's like family. One with an entire high school's worth of drama, intrigue, and backstabbing. And in the middle of all this, Thalassa has Trucy. And then she dies. I need to find out more about this Thalassa. Mr. Brushel, could you take a look at this? Maybe I should show the locket? I wonder if you had any thoughts on this. Alright. It's odorless. Mr. Brushel, do you know who this person? Do I know that person? Of course, I was friends with Zach after all. He hit me a few times, 5 times actually, but still, I'd never forget his wife. Thalassa Grammari. Magnifi Grammari's only daughter. Do you think you could tell me more about her? Well, why the heck not? So, Thalassa married Zach and had Trucy, see? It was her second marriage, actually. You mean she was divorced? I hadn't heard this one before. Not quite. Her late husband was a performer, too. He died in an accident on stage. Tragic, really. They'd only been married 1 year. Right, that's, Justice? The guitarist, right, from Spirit of Justice? I didn't know. Ah, but she was a beauty. I still carry a portrait photo of her around, you know. Look at those bracelets. That was his name, Jove Justice, yes. And I think he died in a fire. I'm trying to remember correctly. I've known Trucy since she was a little thing, too. She got the better deal, really. She's got you for family, after all. What do you mean? Just reminiscing, you know. Thalassa has another child besides Trucy, end quote. What? But Trucy said she was an only child. Ah, yes. The one that she had with her previous husband. Her previous husband? Her first husband who died on stage? Yep, they had themselves a kid. Another orphan now. That's another one who slipped through the cracks. No idea where they are now. Thalassa had another child. Do you think I could borrow this photo? Sure, I can be generous on occasion, you know? This is definitely a plot hole, right? Because Phoenix at this point understands who Apollo is. And before this case, he knew about his power, right? So yeah, this is definitely another plot hole. I think the Mason system is it's just weird. That's probably the best way you can describe it. I won't need this locket anymore. Better return it to Trucy before I forget. People and events all get tangled together and get bigger and bigger, don't you think? I was too busy wondering about bigger to listen to anything you were saying. Sometimes you just gotta accept you won't be able to untangle it all, I think. Maybe so, but still. I have to do what I can. And I have to tell what I find to those who come next. Next, you say? I'm not the one who will close the curtain on this little play. Apparently, that's not my role anymore. Magnify. I was just wondering what Magnify would think of all this. What do you mean? Haven't you seen it in Trucy? She's got his power. You mean how I can't lie to her? It was the same with Magnify. And with his daughter, Thalassa. It's a strange thing. You think it's some Grammar gene? Magnify told me once, back when Zack married Thalassa. He said Zack had good eyes. But not good like a Grammarai's eyes. Not that good. I wonder if Zack ever played a game of poker with his wife. Who knows what the Grammarai secret was? Maybe nobody now that Zack's gone. Zack Grammarai. The plot had finally begun to reveal itself. It sprouted from a warp in the Grammarai fabric and grew, swallowing everything, wrapping itself around the Grammarai's power. A power which passed from Magnify Grammarai to Thalassa, to the next generation. And I would once again need to meet the one who bridged it all together. Yeah, definitely some plot holes here, but, you know, it's all good. I love the Mason system. Mr. Zack, could you tell me about this? No? Oh, I got a psych lock in. Alright. Not as many locks as you might think. I have to know more about this power of Trucy's. It's like she can see right into people's minds. The first time I saw her do it, it blew mine. And after you were done having her mind blown, you took her to play cards with you. Gotta use the resources at hand, I always say. Yet I myself have no such power. But Trucy does. Why's that? Maybe Trucy got her power from her mother? Thalassa Grammarai? I will not speak of that! Thalassa is officially missing, correct? And I think I know why you don't want to talk about her. The three of you were once a team. Not that the entire country doesn't already know this. At your peak, you were the biggest stars around. Yet, there's another story behind the fame, one that not many people know. Thalassa lost her life during a rehearsal. To you and Valiant Grammarai's bullets. It was an accident! It wasn't me. How could I shoot my dear Thalassa? I'm sure Valiant would say the same thing. Why, it's just like another murder I might mention. Damn you. Her eyes. I love Thalassa's eyes. To think they could read my mind was frightening. Yet there was a warmth in them that I felt like an embrace. She is dead, and Magnify Grammarai has joined her. So the only one with her power left now is Trucy? Mr. Zack. Aye, Do not know. I don't need any power to see through that one, buddy. So there's someone else, someone other than Trucy. Someone who inherited Thalos' power. Huh? Why would I know? My chances are slim. It would take a miracle to learn the truth. Or maybe one's already occurred. There's someone else with the power, and I know who. This boy. His name is, I forget, something weird. Who could he be? An attorney. Attorney! I had noticed him when I went to visit a friend's law offices. So what are we to make of this, oh great ex-attorney? You can show me pictures of strange boys all you like. But you could at least say something like, I'm this boy, I could use a laugh. Perhaps you wouldn't laugh if you knew the facts. This might not be 100% proof, but it's close. There's a link between this boy and Thalassa. Actually, it's more of a ring. Perhaps this will refresh your memory. I just so happen to have evidence showing this missing link. Blue Ace, so nice to see you. Actually, I know something. Your marriage to Thalassa was her second. How do you know this? Her first husband. He died a year after they were wed, yes? He was a performer. They met when they joined us Grammarize as a guest in our show. After Thalassa wed him, she left the troupe for a while. And you say he had a child then? I have a photograph of her here. Louis, it's going well, my friend. Yeah, Poltergeist, right? Because it's like, I don't really know who... He's like, I don't know Apollo's name here, but I know that he's got bracelets. I couldn't help but notice what she was wearing when I first saw this. Those bracelets stand out. Oh, yeah, you're talking about literally having the photograph? Yeah, definitely. Yes, absolutely. Those bracelets stand out. They are a Grammari family heirloom. But, you know, we forgive it, because I think the Mason system was just a fun way to make the investigation kind of spicy. And again, like, it's, you know, we know that it's not. Again, I think it really reflects Phoenix biases, I think, which is pretty spicy for him to not be so pure. This boy wears a bracelet, just like the ones in the photo. So, that's why. Why what, Mr. Zack? I took this photograph of Thalassa before she left us. When she returned, she wore only one bracelet. I bet I know where the other one went. She gave it to this boy, her son. Blue Ace, hard to... I've done a lot of digging around, as Phoenix writes. Learning a lot of secrets. That's probably how to explain it. Apollo was Trucy's half-brother the whole time. Absolutely, Retro. They both inherited the power. And, can I just say, I'm not going to say it out loud, but... Doesn't she look familiar? Haven't we met this person in a previous case? Spicy stuff. This strange power, I myself do not know where it comes. Yet the fact is that it has passed on the Grammari line. It runs in their veins. What is it? I asked her, Thalassa, once. This is what she told me. Her power responds to tension in others. Tension. If she were to face a person, they became tense even slightly, then she would know, no matter how hard they try to hide it. So she could see it. Not quite. This is the strangest part of it all. She wouldn't realize that she was subconsciously detecting this tension, without the use of a particular object, or in this case, objects. Objects? Wait, were they something she wore? Yes, her bracelets. I admit the first time I saw one of those, I felt there was more to them than just fashion. But what kind of power could a bracelet have? I have made a decision. I will tell you all I know. Consider it a gift. Well, I hardly need you to tell me at this point, but those two are brother and sister, yes. And the brother, too, has this power of theirs. So Trucy has an older brother. I wonder what will come of that. Literally nothing, because I don't think Phoenix ever tells them. Mr. Wright, tonight, after our game is done, I will return to a life of hiding. I would not live her life. I would not see her live her life without knowing. I understand. I'll tell the two of them when the time is right. I am in your debt once again. No kidding. What I want to know is how all this got to be so messed up. Those bracelets are made of a special alloy. It is said to expand and shrink very slightly in response to body warmth. So they're temperature sensitive or something? Yes. This is how they can shrink to the exact size of their wearer's wrist. And this has something to do with the power? What have I told you? The Gramurai power reacts to tension in others. When a Gramurai senses tension, they too become tense. Ancestry.com is calling Apollo for a sponsorship. You know what's another weird plot hole? You would think if Apollo were wearing those bracelets his whole life. Although, were the bracelets a gift to him by Trucy? No, because... Did Apollo always have his bracelet? Because you would think that Apollo, over the course of his life, would be able to feel the tension. But maybe he just never... Maybe he just never actually, like, thought about it? I don't know. Weird. And this tension translates into minute contractions of the muscles. So minute they cannot sense it on their own. They're muscles. Oh, so that's what the bracelets are for. With a bracelet on, one can sense those contractions. That's right, he always had it because Thalassa gave it to him as a baby. They just said it. Yeah, maybe he just never thought about it. Maybe he just never had it consciously explained to him. I don't know. Because the bracelet is always a perfect fit. So when the person they're wearing gets tense, the bracelets feel tighter on their wrist. Precisely. But that alone does not count as mind reading. I believe I understand how the process works from there. It's a simple question of eyesight. I guess that sounds simple enough. Have you ever heard of kinetic vision? Something about the ability to see moving objects with full clarity, right? I've heard of it just before. They say athletes can see a moving ball like it was stopped if they focus. Oh, but it's not confined to sports alone. It relies on the ability to focus. When we focus, we can see many things. The faintest twitch of the face, and the meaning that lies behind it. Therein lies one of the secrets of magic. One must know the mind of a crowd before one may distract it. So basically what you're saying is, the Gramurais can see really well. For them, seeing is more than believing, it is knowing. Their power relies on eyesight combined with exceptional focus. Things are starting to come into focus for me, too. Of course, it is difficult to maintain such levels of focus for any length of time. But what if someone could tell you when to focus? Or something? Work is taking forever. No. You gotta make yourself a McFlurry, man. I hope you can eat food on the job. Make yourself a nice McFlurry for me. Also, Kirito, you should tell me when McDonald's starts doing fun limited edition stuff. I like limited edition foods. But wait, Trussa doesn't have any bracelets. You were talking about poker, yes? The timing going to focus is so elementary she probably does it without thinking. I doubt Trussa yourself has realized this. That is all I know of things Gramurai. Thank you, Mr. Zek. Assuming the ice cream machine works, ain't that the truth? Oh, I love it! You're back, Leo. No, the power's fully back. I love it. If the boy's bracelet is the real thing, then he will use it before long, thereby awakening his power. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, my phone's going crazy. Emergency flood warning. Yikes. Very well. Shall we play a game? Ah, I've said so much. Let me say one thing. I will tell you of that night. The night my mentor, Magnifi Gramurai, passed from this world to the next. There were 2 pistols and 2 letters sent. This was Magnifi's test. In his last years, Magnifi Gramurai worked us to the bone. No, to the pain. But that night, I could not shoot him. So I shot the clown's forehead instead. This, it seems, was the correct answer. Wait, did they get rid of the Filet-O-Fish? McRibs are fun because they always bring them back, but did they really get rid of the Filet-O-Fish? Because they're lactose, oh no. Kirito, what's your favorite thing to make when you get to eat yourself? You get to eat your own food. Take this. I give my art to you, Zach. What? It is thanks for playing along with my show. You shot well tonight, Zach. Though, I would not have minded dying by your hand. How could I shoot you? You're my mentor. Bah! I thought you might say that. If I went home without shooting anything, what would you have done then? Then, of course, I would have given Valent his chance. And if I had shot you in the forehead instead, then it would be over. If you or Valent were to shoot me in the head, then I, to the darkness I would go and my art with me. A fitting end, don't you think? Ah. Yet this ending, too, gives me no cause for regret, I thank you, Zach. And I am sorry. I have done much that was wrong in my day. It seems to me that Magnify wanted you to be a successor all along. That's why the time he gave you earlier was Valance. Perhaps, but it is not something we will ever know for now. I wonder, what is Valant up to these days? Waiting for you to die. If 7 years pass like this, the performance rights go to him. Ah. And now here I am, and his dream is ended. It's worse than that, actually. Public opinion's a fickle thing, you know. What? You don't mean to tell me they put the blame for our mentor's death on him? The trial ended when you vanished, Mr. Zach. There were even rumors that Valance had helped you pull it off. But that's madness! Well, it seems that before I can once again disappear from this world, I have one more act to perform. Isn't it odd that sorting out my life should prove so complicated? Even though I'm dead. So I guess Magnify must have killed himself, right? Because Valant should have been the one to kill him, based on the evidence we saw. I make a crispy, but instead of toasting the bread, you put butter and cook it on the grill, and you add mayo and spices. Oh, that sounds good. Sounds good, Kiritsu. Correct answer would be not shoot at all. But I think if he didn't shoot at all, then Valant would have had the opportunity, right? To get his stuff. That night, Zach Rammer was killed. He died as Shady Smith, a mysterious traveler with a secret past. But he left one thing behind before he parted. This. To whom it may concern, his confession to use as I saw fit. Of course, he'd killed no one. This was his way of tying up loose ends with his old partner, Valant Grammari. Hey, Akira! Akira or Akira? How to pronounce it, Sekai? So nice to see you again. That sounds really good, Kiritsu. That should just be on the menu, man. You should talk to McDonald's HQ or management and get it going. Look at that, Valant with a mustache. Well, this is a blast from the distant past. Hold up, let's read this confession real quick. Oh no. To whom it may concern, 7 years past, I, Zach Grammari, murdered my mentor, Magnify Grammari. I apologize for the trouble caused by my sudden departure from court, and hereby confess to my crime. Akira. Akira. Oh gosh, I'm never gonna pronounce that right. I'm used to Akira or Akira. I guess Akira, right? I know! This case is so good. Maybe I'll just call you Sekai. The world. The world. So nice to see you. The creepier music just now reminds me of GBA Pokemon like Lavender Town. I can kind of see that music from just then. Well, this is a blast from the distant past. Long time no see, Mr. Valant. 7 years has it been. Frankly, I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Actually, I came because there's something I want to ask you. I've spoken to the press. I have nothing more to say. I've spoken to a lot of people myself and come to some conclusions. You can make your own sandwich and have it made on the menu. Oh, you don't do your new store anymore, darn. Poltergust, I'm with you. The first case in this game is insane. It's probably, especially like if this were your first Ace Attorney game, you would think it's pretty good. But having played 3 Ace Attorneys before it, usually the intro trial is like... Although I guess in Game 3, the intro trial is pretty spicy too. But this trial in particular, like Christoph Gavin... Like, take a look at him, you guys. Like, he does not look evil. Like, he's your mentor, right? Like, it's pretty cool that he ends up being, like, a murderer. And it's such a twist to have him be the killer for your first case and then work with Phoenix Wright. I agree. The first case is insanely good. It's top tier, for sure. I do like this case a lot, too. But then I realized I needed to hear it from you. I have walked a difficult road these past 7 years. Because you couldn't perform Magnify's repertoire, do not be deceived. Valant's skill is the real deal. I do not require my mentor's hand-me-downs. No, it was my partner who slowed me on the way. Zach Grammari. His rather well-performed disappearing act 7 years ago was the end. Or so I thought. Zach Grammari murdered our mentor and fled to escape punishment for his crime. You said something to that effect 7 years ago, didn't you? I remember it, swore it was yesterday. Yet that was not the way of it in the end. For while he vanished, the suspicions upon my own person never did. His partner, Zack, vanished to protect him. That's what those thieving magpies of a press said. Yes, agreed. An underlying thread that the whole game is so true. Wait, really? Some money in your item on the menu for a limited time? That's so cool and fun. I actually love that that's a thing. Yet the very same press comes to me now, feigning interest. They cover the greatest magic show in history as though it were a vaudevillian distraction. And here must I stand, smiling at them all. What am I, if not a player in some fiendish farce? Might I suggest it's because you never made clear what happened? Magnavy's death is still a mystery to this day. Which is why I came here to get the answer from you. I knew I'd be seeing these sooner or later. The audience has no business stepping upon the stage. They must be content to sit and stare at the spotlight. That sounds an awful lot like something I heard 7 years ago. True, in the classic Mega Man games, it's always Dr. Wily, right? Magnavy's death. Ask what you will, but you'll get nothing from me. I'm as much a part of this affair as you are now. I have to know what happened. For 7 long years I have endured. Now, finally, the curtain lifts on my new golden age. All the miracles of our troop within my grasp. They really do, Sekai. I won't say it out loud, in case some people like Retro who haven't played the game before, but it's true. I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's such a great twist in this game. It's a great twist. Sorry to do this, Valiant. But right now, I need answers. I think I'll start by dropping a bomb. That should shake things up. Valiant, I wouldn't be so sure about those miracles. Not as long as I have this. And what might that be? I see it bears the Grammar seal. I should have brought this to your attention earlier, but I didn't imagine you'd be planning your comeback quite so fast. What is this? A document showing the true recipient of the performance rights to Magnavy's miracles. What? Zack Grammar, he wrote this? What? He passed everything to his daughter. Trucia Nigmar. Actually, she's officially my daughter these days. Preposterous! Zack is gone! Vanished to the void! This is the genuine article. Zack was alive when he wrote it. Both myself and the notary can testify to this. Ugh! Wow! Ooh. You know, Kirito, when it comes to Taco Bell, I love the quesarito. That's my personal favorite item at Taco Bell. Tough to say with other restaurants. I like the 4-for-4 or the Biggie Bag at Wendy's. Why does fate toy with me so? Why must my life be lived in thrall to the dead? I feel pretty bad for Valiant. You're not the only one with that problem. But he shot Magnafy. Yes, it was Zack. It was. And then he left. And my career as a magician fell into darkness. Do you think there might be some way out of it? Say if you could prove Zack Grammar shot Magnafy? Was that why you testified? Yes, my way out. It should have been my way out. Well, it might not be too late, Mr. Valiant. All you need is a way to prove your case. Who really killed Magnafy Grammar? Oh, I've never had a cheesy chicken burrito. They got rid of the quesarito? No! Oh, the fries are really good. I like the nacho fries at Taco Bell a lot. I believe this is the answer to prayer. Zack Grammar wrote one more thing before passing on. This is a confession, in which he admits to the killing of Magnafy Grammar. See? All according to your plan. I am a magician by trade. Deception is my life's work. I fool the audience, give them a fleeting dream. Yet, it seems the tables have turned. Now I am the audience, believing in the deceptions I have wrought upon myself. Zack wrote this right in front of me, after I explained your situation to him. Alaka. ZOMG! I actually feel really bad for Valiant. I feel very bad for him. You do know this confession is nothing but lies. Yes, it's my opinion that Zack Grammar killed no one. Then you must be thinking the truth is a simple matter of elimination. 2 received instructions to kill, but if one is innocent, then the one who remains is guilty. That would be the logical conclusion, yes. So he vanished to protect me, his partner. Ha 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 ha! A stirring tale, 'tis true. Did you shoot Magnifi Grammari in the forehead? If I had and I told you, what would you do? Run to the police, perchance? Do as you will. There is nothing left for me now. It is true, after all. I have little talent. I needed my mentor Magnifi's repertoire. Oh, that's sad. He was earlier being confident, but... It was as if a little demon grabbed a hold of me. I knew it. So Valiant Grammari did kill the great Magnifi. So sorry, Mr. Wright. But it was not I who shot my mentor. What? But if it wasn't you, then who was it? There wasn't another disciple, was there? Another disciple, such as... I don't know. Knack and talent Grammari, maybe? Their wild fancies couldn't be further from the truth. Only Zack and Valiant received those threatening letters. But there was another. One more person could have fired the pistol that night. I don't suppose you figured it out by now. It wasn't Zack or Valiant. And it had to be the only other person at the scene, which means... Wait. You don't mean... Yes. The great Magnifi Grammari himself. But then Valiant wanted to blame it on Zack. So Magnifi Grammari committed suicide. You find it hard to believe? To be honest, I hadn't even imagined it as a possibility. When I arrived that night, the old man was still alive. Ooh, Domino's has good stuff. I love their lava cakes. I think Domino's lava cakes are insanely good. I wish they weren't so expensive, but they're very, very good. The spicy sauce and cheese, and like the single cheeseburgers, those are good. Yeah, very good. I like Wendy's a lot. Did you know that Wendy's has square patties because they don't cut corners? I'm very serious. That's the real reason. At least that's the reason they say. You appear to be asleep. I could not have shot him. I could not shoot him. But when I turned and made to leave the room, the old man called out to me. So you spoke with Magnifi Grammari? Yes. And this is why I had known what he had done. Magnifi transferred the rights to his repertoire to my partner, Zack, not me. I see. Then I guess I owe you an apology. I always thought you were the one who did it. You owe me no apology. My crime was, in a way, more serious than that of murder. What? Your crime? Is Valiant Grammari confessing something to me? What could be more serious? Pinning it on his partner. Oh, I think KFC is really good. KFC is one of my favorite fast food places. You see, I knew that 2 letters had been sent. There are no secrets between partners. It was easy to find out. That was when I understood Magnifi's plan. He wanted to die by one of your hands? Little did I expect it had nothing to do with the rights to his repertoire. That was when I heard it. The little demon whispering inside my heart. The demon. Let me confess, I had intended to shoot Magnifi. And I planned on framing my partner for the crime. What? That night, I prepared something before going to his hospital room. IV fluid, of course. I'd seen it on an earlier visit. If Zack did not shoot, I would do the deed. Then I would use the IV liquid to place the murder on his hands. That was my plan. They only try to have buildings of similar locations because they are located on the corner of Happy and Healthy? Wait, really? Wait, that's funny unfunny. I've never heard of that. It does kind of feel like Walgreens has corners. There's never really... Walgreens does seem to be they're always at corners. They're never, I've never stopped to think about that. And they're literally corner stores, huh? But you didn't shoot him. I could not. The demon in my heart fled when the moment came. But then Magnifi called me back. I am sorry, Valiant. I'm giving my magic to Zack, not you. You still lack the draw he has. Please, help him if you can. I left the room. And then I stopped. The shock of what I had just been told consumed me. That is when I heard that fateful gunshot. Magnifi Grammari killing himself. Then the demon awoke anew within me. Zack killed him. He was the one. Frame him and the magic will be yours. What a complicated relationship. I altered the scene of his suicide. I took the pistol from his hand, wiped off the prints. Then I used the syringe to add the IV liquid I'd brought. So in the end, things happened pretty much as planned. McAfee died and you framed Zach for his murder. As planned, indeed. Of course, the outcome was somewhat different than I had anticipated. Well, what do you think? Do you believe my story? Can it be believed, truly? That was 7 years ago. I don't know what to believe, but yes, I'm glad I heard it from you, Mr. Valent. Thank you. It was I who should be thanking you, Mr. Wright. Only when I had lost everything could I make my decision. You're going to turn yourself in? My partner may have vanished, but not so my guilt. And as my guilt stays, all else begins to leave me. My friends, my performance rights, my magic. I've had enough of vanishing acts. I understand. I thought my life was ruled by a dead man. But I find I was wrong. For Zach Ramurai was alive. Well, not anymore. And now it occurs to me. What if he was not the only one who survived? What do you mean? You see, now that I think about it, I realize that no. We never saw proof of her demise. We never saw her body. Her? The mind races and the mouth flaps on. My apologies, forget the matter. I can only hope the day will come when I again meet my partner, Zach Ramurai. Then I shall apologize for my terrible mistake. I'm glad I had this chance to talk, thank you. What a complicated relationship they had. Zach Ramurai, Shady Smith. Whichever name you prefer, he is no longer with us. The truth revealed itself in the trial was only a sliver, and the impenetrable darkness that remained has taken another life. I knew what I'd have to do to push back against the darkness for good, and it would involve paying that man a visit. I love KFC. I think their coleslaw's pretty good. I like KFC a lot. Sorry, sir. Prisoner Christoph Gavin is currently occupied. I see. Do you know when he'll be finished? Well... Could you go find out? Certainly, sir. Please, wait here. The yellow envelope! Look at it! My apologies to the guard, but there's something I need to see. I think the Popeye's chicken sandwich is insanely good. Although sometimes it's really bad. It's really hit or miss. Sometimes it's insanely good, and sometimes it's very moist and soggy. But Popeye's is good. I like the Cajun style for them. There it is, the yellow envelope. And the sender is Drew Misham. I was right. When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. It was a yellow envelope. I heard he left it at the crime scene. I guess, yeah, you can get mail in jail. That's right, like prison pen pals. This is the last letter that Drew Misham wrote. And there's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here it goes. Let's see if this atropine spray finds anything. There it is. So this was Drew Misham's messenger of death. It was the stamp all right, no mistaking it. And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. Oh, look at that. You can see the original Japanese name, huh? Christopher or something, I think. He lives on, like, Apple Street? Is Apple Street where the jail is? That's kind of funny. The interview request came, like you said it would, and they're looking into the case. I swear to my life, I won't tell them about you, so please release the spell you've put on my daughter. Whoa. The interview request came like you said it would, and they're looking into the case. I swear I won't tell them about you. Please release the spell. Decisive evidence. Please release the spell you put on my daughter. I'll write later with a report. What's this? A burglar in jail? Ooh! Angry eyebrows? That's not a bad idea, Kirito. Kirito, you want to DM me or post on Discord? That's a good idea. That's a pretty easy emote to make, too. Or maybe it should be an animated one where he like wiggles his eyebrows. I like the idea of that, wiggling his eyebrows, like a real mischievous one. Gavin. I didn't know you moonlighted in larceny, right? Gavin, there's something I have to ask you. Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. You're hearing static. Wait, really? Hold on a second. I don't hear any static myself. Does anyone else hear static? I mean, it is raining in my area, I will say, but does anyone else hear static? You kind of hear it too? Hold on a second. I'm gonna turn my mic off really quick. Tell me if you still hear it. So is it the game? Oh, so it is my microphone. Do you still hear it now? Hold on a second. It was my microphone. Interesting. Let's see if I can fix this. It is the mic. Okay. Let's see. How can I go about this? Ooh, boy. Okay, do you still hear it? Do you guys still hear it? Keep telling me. Keep telling me when it stops. I'm tweaking some settings right now. So let me know right now. Do you still hear it or not? Okay, you still hear it. Let's see. How about now? Do you still hear it now? I just made a change. Wait, it intensified? Uh-oh. Yikes. Is it better now? I just took it off. So it's my limiter. My limiter is the issue. Oh boy. Okay, how about now? How about now? How about now? How is it now? Still the same? I don't even know how to fix it at this point. Oh gosh. Am I still on? Hold up. How about now? Sekai's saying that it helps. I literally just unplugged it, plugged it back in, and then I turned it off and turned it on again. A lot better. Okay, cool. So that I'm glad it wasn't my... Because you know, yesterday I tweaked my mic settings. So I was afraid it might be my new mic settings, but I guess it was just my mic. It just needed to be plugged off. A lot better. Do you hear any of it? Is there any static at all? I'm glad it's a lot better. It's gone? Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. I really appreciate that, you guys. Obviously, I want to have the best audio possible, so I appreciate you letting me know that. That's really, really awesome. So glad I fixed that. You can still hear it a tad, but it's not ear splitting now. You still hear it a tad. Yikes. I think I will have to fix some mic settings at some point. I'm sorry you can hear it a little still. I don't know that I can fix it right this second. I mean, I could keep trying, I suppose. Not bothersome enough. I will have to fix it at some point. It's very much in the background. Okay. That's good to know. But yeah, I'll just know, you guys, that I'll be doing my best to fix it after the stream. Thanks for letting me know, you guys. In fact, if someone want to DM me or post on Discord, remind me to fix it in case I forget, because I definitely want to fix this. My apologies, but there's not much I care to discuss. Vera Misham hasn't received her verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin? There are no known survivors of atracanine poison, but it never hurts to hope. Okay, I'll be leaving now then. Right, wait. Yeah, Gavin? Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. Oh, sorry. Forgot I had it. Many thanks. Look at that. He had a camera on his beanie the whole time. He had a camera on his beanie the whole time! What a fun design. I would love this beanie in real life. Someone on Etsy should make this beanie in real life. I think I would buy it right away. I love the light blue color. Whatever. What are the words on the side of it? I can't even tell. We've now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years. Now it is time. Every story has an ending. It says Papa? What a great... Someone needs to make a Papa beanie. Huge invasion of privacy with that hat. Yeah, no kidding. Pokejoe, please find it for me. I would love it if you found it for me. Most efficient GoPro in history. We've come to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. I love that serious expression on his face. To be continued. Hold on a sec, you guys. I have one idea. Welcome to court. And how's the static now? I know there's a little static in the background. Is the static now better? He's a master of bluff and then it gets serious out of nowhere. So true. Do you guys still hear the static a little bit? I turned down the gain of my microphone a tiny bit. I was thinking maybe that might be part of it. I know, I feel like Poltergust probably has headphones on that are probably pretty good. I know Unfunny can hear it too. Check Discord. Ooh, did you find it? Oh, Jigs, I love your shrimpy. Whoa, you guys. Okay, it's a custom order. Although I don't know if that person still makes them nowadays. Look at this real quick, you guys. Look at this beanie. Look at that. That's cool. Oh, it's custom knitted. It's custom knitted. Oh, that's even... Wow. The only thing missing from it is an actual GoPro camera. That would be even cooler. That is a dope beanie. Hey, Oopsie! It's so nice to see you. Holy cow. Oopsie, it's been a minute. How are you doing? Oh my gosh. Yeah, the only thing missing is a GoPro from it. The restart was in December. Ooh. That is spicy. That's very spicy. Again, though, do you guys hear it? Not headphones, just a loud TV. Nice. Do you guys still hear it, though? Is the static... I know, Sekai saying they don't hear it. I was wondering if turning down the gain a little bit would help. And if not, I'm going to do one more thing really quick to see if I can fix it right this second before I forget. I love that you're watching on TV. That's cool. I love that, Poltergeist. Don't we just lurk? We had a comment on Beanie. Yeah, I know you. I do know you're a lurker. Only because I never check like the names of people in the chat, but you're just a real one, so. I know that for sure. Okay, and if not, you guys, I'll turn down a different part again. You got me, boo. Oh. Where do you live again? Idaho? Iowa? Something like that? Oregon? You live somewhere in, like, the northern side of stuff. We're gonna be going to Georgia, for MomoCon. I'm gonna try... I applied for a panel. I don't know if I'll get it, but, that's a fun thing. I'm gonna do an event in May for MomoCon. And then probably in California or Colorado, I'm going to do another event in September and October. I'd love to have you in here. Pacific Northwest, there you go. But yeah, really quick. Does anyone still hear static? Anyone who's got, I guess specifically unfunny or poltergust. It seems like they're the ones who could detect it in the past. Do you guys still hear it? Either of you who've got like good headphones or good loud TVs? Because I'm thinking this may be the issue. And if not, maybe I'll just keep playing until I get a definitive answer. Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant Vera Misham innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Preparations complete. You don't hear anything right now. Awesome. Okay, then I think we fixed it. Something inside me. Rising, surfacing. Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. Who do you think here's a good question for Ace Attorney fans. Who do you think was speaking that dialogue? Was that Apollo? Or do you think it was maybe Christoph Gavin? I'm not Christoph Gavin. Clavier, the prosecutor. I feel like either of them are good answers. I don't think Phoenix, because Phoenix wouldn't be like, I can feel it rising. I feel like it's one of those two, and I'm kind of curious what people think. Or maybe someone else, I don't know. Or maybe Phoenix, huh? Could be Phoenix. Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant, Vera Misham's condition? Acute atropine poisoning, according to her physician. Look at that, 2 different answers. 3 different answers. We got Clavier, we got Apollo, we got neither. Oh! Do you think... Oh, you don't see her as a... Oh, I don't have any of the evidence of her. Actually, here we go. Do you think it's her? That's pretty fair, because we know... Well, okay, again, I shouldn't be saying anything, because I guess I'm spoiling a little bit. I'll shut my mouth. She could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today. What? They can't put her on trial without her being here. It is unusual. They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them. That's being a little harsh. They can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can cause only grief. Seikai, you should tell me during the credits what you think is upset about it. Remember to tell us all during the credits. The records of this case and experience should tell us one thing. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be canceled. I'm not gonna let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. I'm gonna get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Not everything, Apollo. You don't know you don't know who your half-sister is. Or your mother. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. But Vera was poisoned with atropine, the same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have access to the poison. Significance is it's rather hard to come by. This is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, It would be nice if you told her who her mystery killer was. The prosecution's objection is sustained. I asked the defense to prove its claims to the court. Tell us how Vera Mission was poisoned. I agree, it's definitely nail poison. 2 things to prove. Who did it and how? How did the killer poison Vera Mission? I will focus first on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of poison was found in the defendant's body. I see, so the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached her? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used? What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. Wait, that's actually really funny. I'd like to give him a hand. Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Ah! Something the matter? No, nothing at all. Retro, we have the same man. We have the same thoughts for clips. You are actually the best. I love you, Retro. So the killer put poison in the bottle and made her drink it. As Prosecutor Gavin told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish. It's like paint for nails. Know any women with red nails? Ah, my wife has red nails. I see. So she's been using painting. She's been painting them this whole time. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Her nails! Ah! Prosecutor Gavin, when the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff! Have them check the defendant's nails at once! Mr. Justice. How is he perplexed by nail polish? I thought about clipping that too. Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison in that nail polish? Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Mission? Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No, just checking. Mr. Justice, you are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of the accusation. Here, let me show you. Understood, Your Honor. No problem. Then let us ask, who poisoned Vera Mission? Oh, what's this? Christoph Gavin. What's your game? My bro. There's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps it was 7 years ago. But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of all this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay. The defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand. Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. He is currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison. Ah, Your Honor, how nice to see you again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss? Stiff upper lip, Apollo, you can do it. Does this bottle look familiar? Ariadone nail polish. Why yes, I use it myself. Is there a pun there, Ariadone? Ariadne? Is there I feel like Ace Attorney has a lot of puns. I don't know what that means. Or maybe it's just a random brand. Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet. And? Was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste, indeed. The nail polish was how Vera Mission was poisoned. Atropine, was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this. Wow, look at that reaction. You're being accused again. By him again. Ah, and? You agree with his accusation, don't you? Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Misham. Please testify in this matter. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I've been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father too. Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mishams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination. I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss, but I know he poisoned the Mishams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? The bracelets. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I've been in solitary confinement for half a year. Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father too. Let's try this. Wow, look at his eyes. Oh, look at that scar on his arm. I knew it. I remembered it. I remembered it.
Gotcha!
I remember that. It was you who killed Drew Misham. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news. And, let's assume for the sake of argument that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Misham fond of nail polish, too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get into someone's mouth. Ah, then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way all the same, and I found it too. This is how you poison Mr. Misham. My. And here I thought you'd come so far. I admire how you, lacking any confidence whatsoever, choose to barrel on. Your defense lacks even a shred of elegance. Oh, I guess that wasn't right. I guess that's the other mail? Relax, Justice. I've come this far. Okay, I guess I had to show the other envelope. Wait, really? The other envelope didn't work either? Uh-oh. Oh, I have to show the tiny frame. Not the envelope. But it was sent in the envelope. It was sent in the envelope. Wait, what? This didn't work either? Oh, I have to show the actual frame. Oh my gosh, I have to show the act, not the frame itself, but the freaking stamp. Where's the stupid stamp? There it is. Oh my gosh. I'm silly. Why would I not just show the stamp? I forgot. I should have actually looked at my evidence instead of just jumping to the letter. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. That night, Mr. Misham died. He was seen writing a letter. Atropine was found on the stamp, Mr. Gavin. So might I understand the stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, the stamp was found in your prison cell. Yikes. That is all, Your Honor. Order! Order! Poison on the back of the stamp. After Drew Misham was killed, someone paid a visit to the witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. Daddy. That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Misham write you a letter. That's how you killed him. What? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brushell's testimony. Wow, I'm surprised you knew about Spark Brushell's testimony. You put the letter in the envelope. Mr. Misham sat there searching his dress drawer. His desk drawer. A stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was mere coincidence that he used it that night. That would seem to be the case. Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence. Well, it didn't matter that it was coincidence. It mattered that he would eventually die, huh? How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder. Really, Clavier. You should be seeing through these weak-spine bluffs by now. Wow. Well, look at that. Ever the sly fox indeed, Sekai. He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Misham would use the stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell. Well, it seems the defense has run out of things to say. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff. I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavier. Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with a bluff. You were, Christoph. What are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin? Here, forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that this poison stamp killed Drew Misham, yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when he would use the stamp. Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned. Tell me. It needs to be planned? Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Misham died by that stamp, that's all. Coincidence. Christoph, you tried to slip from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask the same question of you, Christoph. Heh. Two blunt nuisances. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony. Very well. I shall take his claim head on then. Justice. What? You accuse me of Drew Misham's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter? Apollo motive. He's talking about a motive. Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter. Now here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose. So what does it mean? It means there might have been a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not most vital, element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement. I'd say it's about this vital. Oh my gosh, the entire game vital. Let's save. We should save. Oh my gosh. Oh, whoops. I missed. I took so many mistakes in that stupid stamp. Okay, let's save. We saved it up. Well, Mr. Justice, I'm going through this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. Then let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham? Your address and a name I never heard of. Too blurry. You know, I have to say... Because he knew about the forgery. Bravo, Justice. The way you present erroneous evidence which has numbing lack of skill. To think changing mentors would cripple you so. Uh-oh. Allow me to present you with a numbing penalty. Oh, no. Oh, no. I lost. That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. The defense's case is insufficient. This court finds the defendant Vera Misham. Yikes. The defendant will surrender herself to the court's care to undergo a regular trial at the High Court within a month's time. Yikes. Yikes, y'all. Alright, well. Yeah, the forgery makes a lot of sense because he would want to kill the evidence of it. I like it. I was thinking the letter... okay, gang, hear me out. The reason I went for the letter is because of, because of the urgency of it. But yeah, I do agree. That makes more sense. Let's do the forged evidence. Which is this one? Yeah, that's the forged evidence, okay. Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear. Aria Doni. Aria is like that from an opera, a lost song, and Adoni is a young woman. Oh, interesting. Is Aria Doni a real brand or a type of nail polish? Or is that just like a clever name? Like an opera, a young woman's opera? When we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place. And why was that? Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham accepts his first job creating forged evidence. I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifique Grammarized diary. When Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven. The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright. Who other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? And why would they? Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second. Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Misham by the client who requested the forgery. The enclosed stamp was none other than the poison commemorative stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just that other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old. The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery to keep them from talking, but he made a mistake. The stamp was a picture of my favorite magician, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. You know, the one thing that I have to... the one issue I have with this is that, yeah, the killer made a time bomb of sorts, or he made a bomb, but even over the course of 7 years, he never tried to kill again. So I guess... yeah, I don't know. I guess he was just very cautious. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Hair forehead. Do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Phoenix Wright. Objection! You're right, Oshihina. Yes, you're right. He probably had a camera feed or something. Watching them, yes. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Sorry, but that's not how this is gonna go down. Oh, then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began. Oh, old boy, here. I don't know, I just got it over there in the hall. One more thing. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney the day only before. I understand I'm asking the impossible. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. Yeah, like right on guard, he did. That little teddy bear. Now here's a question. Just who was Shady Enigmar's previous defense attorney? No. This can't all be. But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this witness? I mean, defendant, a former lawyer. Let me begin by denying this. It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin, and impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly do you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim? That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield. Yo, thank you, March. I'm so excited you died. Oh, gosh, freaking A. I love you, March. Awesome, so excited. Hair forehead. Are you sure you don't have evidence? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy. Evidence! Evidence that shows this man requested that forgery. Clavier. Just prove it! Clear up these doubts now or I swear I'm off this case. He must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain in the darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him, and proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Bisham? The yellow letter. Which, by the way, is that forged? Is that yellow letter forged? If Phoenix Wright never took it? I guess it's just a video evidence of it. You claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery 7 years ago. It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? The evidence does not... Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty. Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice? Fine, Your Honor. All I have to do is prove any kind of link. The yellow letter. And I have something that clearly does the job. Very well, Mr. Justice, present your evidence. Show us the link. Not enough health bar to penalize. If only me. This evidence proves there's a link. That scrap of paper. I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some kind of problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting. Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this? I see now. Yes, of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible. This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter. Reproduction? When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera. What? He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail. Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video, a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin. As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, Your decision, please. The defense's claim is denied. What? Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice. Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point. Apollo, do something! I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him. Very well. This ends the special witness's cross-examination. Do the air guitar. Let's see it. Okay. The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why. Prosecutor Gavin, frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph? Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier. Apollo, do you see that? He's trying to press him. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember what's really important to you. You amuse me here, Forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Herr Wright? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Might I request that we put the current cross-exam on hold? State your name and occupation. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it? Unnatural? Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment, you call in Drew Misham. It was almost as if what? Funny. It didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Clavier. I knew because you told me, Christoph. What? It was the night before the trial. Clavier. Christoph. Odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. Ah. I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen, I want you to call on a special witness. Then. I wondered about it at the time. How did Christoph know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Christoph! We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserved that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case. The victim's belongings? Which would have included Magnifi's diary, wouldn't it? Mr. Gavin. My, Clavier. You disappoint me. Which makes me think, did that mean Christoph intended to use forged evidence? Do you think he planned the forged evidence ahead of time? Or do you think only after Phoenix Wright took the case did he go for the forged evidence? I wonder. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug, not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing. Apollo, I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Ramurai. Never intended to give a fair fight to his brother. What a jerk. His brother's first case. One card. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion. Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points or his cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christoph Gavin. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright, a second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man. He deserved to die for that error alone. And that's his motive for killing Shady Smith. So the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, those two men shamed me and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Ramurai both deserved what they got. So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence so you could win. But then when you were dismissed as Zach Ramurai's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. The pettiest man on earth, so true. My point is that all that I imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. Wow. Ha! Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Prosecutor Gavin. Perfectly? You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled when the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance, so you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's what he said every day for 7 years. Journalist sure is being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Ramurai got rubbed out after 7 years right after coming into contact with me? So maybe that's why he became friends with Phoenix Wright, to keep his eye on him? Zach Ramurai was seen by the reporter? How was that possible? Was he alive after being gone for 7 years? Finally. I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Ramurai, gone missing for 7 years, Trucy's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him! Right, leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is that the traveler was Zach Ramurai. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Yes, indeed, Poltergeist. What is it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going! We'll talk about it later. Did she already know? Someone please explain this! Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician Magnifique Ramurai's death started it. Magnifique Ramurai's death and his student Zach Ramurai the suspect. Whoever defended him in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew Misham. Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course. Those two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. Atropine. Applied to a commemorative stamp. But luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp, I see. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Aradoni nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Ah, that nail polish was her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been... Well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. The person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside. It protects me. Yes, apparently she received something, a gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from the client, the one who wanted that note made. Blue Ace indeed, it was his insurance. Insurance? As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. His time bomb sat there for 7 years, and then they went off almost simultaneously. Yeah, good job, Blue Ace. If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? This is definitely his theme. I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavio, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence, the lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the atropine poison that took Drew Mission's life. What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gramerai to keep him from talking. I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive. Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. The court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Misham who was on trial here. No, but you were doing so good, Apollo. As long as there was no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent. Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence. You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails? What? It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you. What? Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor, Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavio? Unfortunately, yes, Christoph, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system. That's right. I'd totally forgotten. The juris system! Juris, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens' wisdom. Is this some kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain from doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers? Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense! There was only room for two in this court, me and the law. Keep the riffraff out! Out, I say! They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. Ha! How can you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright. So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You let ignorant swine soil your courts. Kristoff, it's over. Clavier. The law is absolute. You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem, polished to a gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time, and it is always changing, growing. Nurturing it is our task as human beings. Except for you, Kristoff. You aren't changing. You've stopped. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Poltergeist. You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to. I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as a trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her daughter. And the painter Drew Misham. However, several other incidents were reviewed, and it seems we have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision, jurists of the court. For the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter. Yeah, I was thinking of saving to choose the bad option, Poltergeist. I was thinking of that. I'll do a little quick save here. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. No, don't you worry, it's not too late. I'm on legitimate hardware after all. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all. Please, wait. Yes, jurist number 6. There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case. With the development of the case? I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely. Judge well. What do you think? Guilty or not guilty? guilty. Just for a spice little bad ending. And so a verdict was reached. The first verdict under the jury system, a hung jury. The final verdict would have to wait for the following day. Sending the wrong people to jail, it's true! Okay, this time I did. Fate had other plans. That night, defendant Vera Misham's condition worsened. She died in her hospital bed. Her verdict was postponed for eternity. I'm a bad boy. Alright, it's okay, we'll reload. Not guilty. Do you see that? Lamaror with the other bracelet. And so a verdict was reached on October 9th. The first verdict under the jury system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than ever heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. I'm glad she got better. All she did was bite her nails after all. Vera, I'm so glad Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well. When I thought about what if Vera, Hey now, don't you start crying too. I'm sorry you had to see us like this. Oh, that smile. Thank you so much, Apollo, thank you. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you would have never bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside that, clinging to my good luck charm. When I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes. Looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for this whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. I love that Misham was always watching. Oh, that's actually a really cute one. That's actually a really cute photo. It's me. I love it, thanks. No, Budokai! Don't go to bed right now. Is that me? Her horns. She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy? Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm so sorry. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes someday and apologize. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear it. He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier. You mean that stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all? You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away. We may not meet again for some time, Trucy, but know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Grammar-Eye, after all. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now, even if he really can't play the piano. That he can't. Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes. Glad I made your list. Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy, the one who can't play? Do you know Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy. Sigh. Tee-hee. Oh, Trucy. Yes, Vera? I was wondering. Could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted. Yet. Here goes. Do us an impression, Mr. Hat. Objection! Ahem. Not loud enough. And I like Miss Magic underwear better anyway. That's magic panties, Apollo. I love the credits music in this game, can I just say? So, your memories returned. Mr. Wright, was this all a part of your plan too? I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Lammeror. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists. Ah, you're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. Of course it is a happy thing. For so long, I thought I was alone. But now I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you. Are you gonna tell them? They do not know? Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings. I will go to them when the time is right. Until then, don't worry. I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me, too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her, at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Your bracelet. Yes? I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine. And I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. Such a small thing, that bullet, yet it tore who I was away. "10 years ago during a simple rehearsal," I'm so with you, Pocojo. "It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright. Speaking of miracles, Vera Misham regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken, sometimes a life is spared. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they got something worth living for." That's a great line. And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We lost it somehow, but we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah. I think I'll keep at this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel, here comes justice. Objection! The music is so good in this. I love this credit song. "I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Troop Grammari. Trucy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy. Trucy Grammari. Thankfully, I got my doubts, but Hat Grammari. Now that'll pack 'em in. Oh, I forgot about the photos. That's such a great touch. That's such a great touch. It's not every day you get a trial that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gaviners are breaking up. The news caused a run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted and I got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam. Again. I really wish Lammeror came at the end of Spirit of Justice or something. That would have been kind of cool. I got 2, okay? I'm counting Animal Crossing. This is my... I can upgrade it to 2 in a second. I'm counting Animal Crossing. So I was standing around eating snack goos the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe. Good old Emma. Little cutie. In unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast, come to Borscht Bowl Club. The only thing colder than restaurant is borscht. Ah, but if greater challenge is being required, then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for. Ooh, that's right, Oshihina. I've actually never played that. I used to love the GameCube one. The GameCube one was so much fun for multiplayer. I forgot there was a DS one. Are those the only 2 custom Robo games that exist? The DS one and the GameCube one? That's really upsetting if it is. I hope there's another one out there. Maybe a 3DS one? So, Kataki Pastries is getting back to its Eastern roots. Spread the culture and all. Yo, boss, culture time. This is how we write root, capiche? But we're still giving back to the people. Yo, boss, PR time. And this is how we write people, alright? Not that Waki's paying attention. Ooh, kids. Ooh, you know what? I beat Phantom Hourglass as a kid, but I never really played Spirit Tracks. Bazoy! Chinese characters on the cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago, believe that. Man, you want to make it today, you gotta keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker for real. I know it didn't look like no cracker, G. What, you want me to call it the OG muffin? I liked Waki. Wait, there's an N64 custom Robo and a GBA one? Whoa. I did not know either of those things. That's actually really cool. I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one too. See? This time, I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend? Eldon's Noodles is all about the salt. Salt forever! Kirito came home just in time for the credits. This is probably the best credits in the whole game. I really love the little photos they do. My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unequivocal adoration from my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new nickname, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I am the cure. Leo, the next one's probably gonna be... It should... Honestly, if I were going strictly alphabetically, it would be Ace Attorney Investigations. But I kind of want to play Advanced Wars, so I'm gonna go a little bit out of order. I'm gonna play Advanced Wars next. I think I might do all the other Ace Attorney Investigations. I might do that with the Phoenix Wright games. I don't know how to wow, she is so pretty. I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. Lamro has returned to my life and with joy. I may have lost years, but I've gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song. She is so pretty. Yeah, Advance Wars. I'm excited to play them. I know there's 2 of them on the DS. I've never played any of them. That'll probably happen Tuesday, I guess. Brusha, brusha, brushel! Brusha, brusha, brushel! No, neither, J-Rev. The DS version. I'm playing all the DS games. J-Rev, nice to see you. Hey, how do I feel about how things turn out? No scoop yet, but journalists' confidence in mint condition. That's clever. End quote. I've never played them, and I love Fire Emblem, so I'm stoked to hear it. I know there's a Dual Strike, and I think Days of Ruin are the 2 DS ones. I've decided to keep painting, originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find out what to paint. I like it, Leo. That's a great idea. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. Great idea, Leo. That's a really good idea. Save it for investigations too, yeah. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you. What a great sketch. Oh, it says Misham in the bottom right. Mr. the New Emblem. Isn't that a Japanese one? Wait, Inafune helped make this? Wait, is that true? I missed that. He actually helped with this? I guess he was in Capcom, but I actually didn't know that. I missed that. He was like he helped in some way? I know Shu Takumi was the main one. Okay, gang. We finally beat it. So check this out. I am going to show you guys something really cool to all the Ace Attorney fans who are here. Let's see. Maybe I can... All right, gang, if you were here yesterday, you got to see me think about whether I would do this or not. He was executive producer, huh? Wow. I guess, I mean, he was a big Capcom at the time. So, gang, this is my special edition. It is a little banged up, but it is a special edition. Apollo Justice, or Gyakuten Saiban 4, as they call it in Japan. Love that holographic foil on the cover. It is an actual briefcase. You can hold it up. I mean, it's made of paper on the outside. But take a look how beautiful this is. I love this like red, velvety kind of background. The one on the left is obviously the DS, Ace Apollo Justice. I don't know what this is, to be honest with you. At the very top is a soundtrack for sure. I don't actually know what this is. I'll have to look into that and see what it is. But it's got the old Phoenix Wright look, right? It's got the Phoenix Wright face on it. So I wonder if it's like... I don't know. Yeah, I have no clue. But anyway, that's my little briefcase. And you can see on the back, they hype up the game, which is quite fun. Really great game. I'm glad I started off so strong. Granted, I have played this game already before, so, you know, it's not like it's brand new or anything, but still, a really good one. Actually, I should be going to my ending screen. So, yes, very good stuff. Always going to be there. Objection! Great impression. I love it. Thanks, Ja. Objection! There we go. Got a point, too. Ace Attorney Glossary. That's interesting. So it's a DS game, but it's a glossary? Because it looks like it's in a DS case, or maybe that's just for design. You know what make the collection even better? The creator autograph. That would be cool. If I ever met Shu Takumi, that'd be really cool. That'd be really hard to do, I think, but that would be very cool. Anyway, good night to all of you guys. Oh, yeah, hold up. Wait. Before I do that, we should officially change it. Look at that. 2 now. 2 out of 1735. Amazing. This denominator will change because I don't want to. I'm not going to play through every variation of a game. Like I'm not going to play Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, and I'm not going to play like Black Ace and Red Joker. So when I figure out the real number of games, I'll probably decrease the denominator. But anyway, good stuff. We're on 2, baby. Good stuff. Very, very good stuff, baby. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Achtung, as Prosecutor Gavin would say. There you go. Good stuff. All right. Anyway, cringe stuff over. Tomorrow, gang, is more Mega Man Star Force DX. I'm really excited for it. Tuesday will be Advance Wars. Really stoked for that. Good night to all of you guys. Oh, Beto, you're back. Yo, good night to you, Beto. Really great. Hey, really, really awesome to meet you, my friend. We got 2 now. Advance Wars coming in soon, you guys. Sonya time. No, not the best girl, but Sonya is really great. Okay. Luna's better, but Sonya is great. I'm not gonna say I'm not a hater, okay? I'm just saying Luna's better. And Luna doesn't get enough love. She needs a defender like me, Apollo Justice. You know, you gotta fight for justice every now and then. Alrighty. Good night to Blue Ace, good night to Leo, good night Cha, good night Unfunny, good night Oshihine, good night Lich King, good night Taki, good night Retro, good night I think did I say Blue Ace already? Who else am I missing? Good night Kirito, good night Leo, if I didn't say that already, I think I did. Good night Outlaw Vessel, good night J-Rev, great to see you guys. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited. Ooh, you're off tomorrow. I'm excited for some more Star Force Deluxe. Very, very, very good stuff. Good night to all of you guys. I'll find someone fun to raid. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your time. And I will catch you guys later. Peace out, everybody. Good night.
What's the general demi operation? Let's